This video contains subject matter that may be offensive and disturbing to some people. If you are the type to require a warning throughout a video or show, let this message serve as your warning. This channel discusses the harsh reality of true crime. If this warning is not sufficient for you, consider a different genre and unsubscribe from my channel immediately.
Of the Pacific Northwest. What's going on, freaks? Thought I'd put the old debunking music in there. Hey, thanks everybody. Linda Howell, Zozo, Brittany, Mag, Truth Sleuth, Michelle Nicholas, Grandma Ducky, and Holly Evans. Thank you. And you can be rest assured that a portion of that, large portion in fact, goes to charity at the end of the month. Be nice if all YouTubers did that. You got a lot more money to charities out there. Oh, I turned the bot on, so I don't know why it wouldn't be working. Let me try it again. There you go. I don't know. If it's not working, it's not working. But yes, thanks everybody for showing up. I thought what I would do would be go over, you know, sort of how it was back in February 2017. We know that the Abby and Libby 4-year anniversary of their disappearance and death is coming up here on 13th and 14th, just 3 days from now. I'll probably be doing a couple more shows regarding this. Maybe have some guests on. But there's a lot of debunking videos and things that I've made over the years, but I could be on and I'll talk about them at the same time. Because, you know, every time something new breaks in the case, the same type of people come out, and then you have to start all over again. It never just picks up from where it left off with the knowledge that people have. Everybody starts over again. Yeah. Oh, look, there's two people standing at the end of the bridge. Well, it's actually a barrier, a metal barrier. It's not people. So. Put that on there. All right. So just a quick recap of this case, just very quick one. Is Libby and Abby on February 7th, excuse me, I always say 17th because that's the date I got the image off of the, it's also 2017, but it was one of the dates that had a high-res image of the area, but the 13th didn't. But anyways, February 13th, 2017 at about 1:37 or so. Hold on one second. Of course, my wife's calling right now because she's heading home. Hold on. All right, that's funny. Every night. Hey, thanks, Holly Evans. Wow, very cool. All right, so at 1:37, 1:38, they oh, there we go. Oh, that's right, I forgot. The cat eye donation is really loud. Almost freaking me out. Ah!
So happy to donate to your channel.
Thank you. Appreciate it. All right. So they were hanging out, Libby and Abby, over at Libby's grandmother's house and legal guardian, Becky Patty and Mike Patty. And I think Derrick may have lived there. That's her biological father. I believe he lived there at the time as well. Her biological mother was a no-show. She was in a totally different place. Wasn't around. So here we go. We've got, this is where Libby and Abby lived. I mean, Libby lived here, and Abby and Libby were hanging out. Then they decided to go to the Monon High Bridge, which is over in this area, and they were dropped off right here in this location right here. So for all of you making new videos out there, HLN, you know, keep watching. They weren't dropped off right here. I mean, can you believe that Court TV puts out a video and says that they were dropped off right there? That's what they literally said. They said that the Libby and Abby were dropped off right here and that they were found over here. So you would think after 4 years that Court TV would get something right. But again, they just don't care at all. It's just, oh my God, Libby and Abby case, it gets a lot of views. Hurry up. Let's hurry up and make a video. You know, that's what they do. They just really don't give two shits about anything. All right. So they were dropped off right here at about 1:37, 1:38. And then the next thing that we know of, well, if you just, let me word it differently. They were dropped off here at 1:37, 1:38. They were supposed to be picked up by Derrick about 1.5 to 2 hours after they were dropped off. Right? So that would be, you know, 3:30, something like that. And when Derrick got there, he tried calling. His first phone call was made as he was crossing this bridge right here. He called, I think it was at 3:10, if I remember, maybe 3:11. And then at 3:13, 3:14, he calls again right as he pulls into the parking spot here. And he doesn't get an answer. So, you know, he's sitting there and he goes, So he gets out and he walks. And then he walks by an individual, the flannel shirt guy, and he tells him that there was a couple down on this side underneath the bridge. But, you know, a man and a woman, so it wasn't Abby and Libby. So Derrick said, oh, well, maybe they went a different way. So he went down this path right here, this side trail, and checked down here. Didn't find anything. So he went up this way. And then I think at that point, he's calling Becky. And then he walked. I'm not sure if then he walked this to the Freedom Bridge here first. And then back and called Becky, but at about 4 o'clock, everybody started showing up, and then at 5:30, law enforcement was called right around that time, and then there was a lot of people started showing up searching. There's video on the news of couple individuals searching right over here. Of course, the media said, "Oh, look at that! They found the bodies over there." I mean, YouTubers and Facebook people. They said that the bodies were right there because they had nothing else to show, so they thought they would throw that out there. I have a video that I'll be showing you about that one. All right, so, you know, Derrick went down this way, then back up here. Then he went all the way to Freedom Bridge and then back. Then he waited in the parking lot for everybody to get there. People searched all around all night, even law enforcement, but they never went over even if they did go over to this side, but it would be unlikely that somebody would think of searching this side, because the image of Libby and Abby going across the bridge, it was really just an image of Abby, photographs taken by Libby's cell phone. The first image was taken facing this direction on the bridge, so facing the southeast side of the bridge. It's the full length shot of the bridge. I have that image right here. All right, so that's the image, and you can see that Abby is not in front of her. Right, so that means Abby is behind Libby when she's taking this photo. Most likely, right? I guess she could technically be just off to the side right there. Okay, and as you look down there, there's no person on the bridge at the other end. Okay, so it looks like it's a clear sailing all the way across. Then Libby continues to walk. Abby's probably still behind her. Then she gets to platform 3 and turns around like this and takes a picture of Abby coming towards her, about ready to catch up. And that picture is right here. That's the one of Abby just about to get to platform 3. Right? Then after that, they most likely continued on, and I think personally that maybe around in this area, they may have even looked back and saw somebody coming towards them. And instead of walking past them, which would be creepy, they probably thought, well, let's go to the other end. Maybe he'll turn around or something like that. And they walk all the way across the bridge. And right around in this area, Libby had made it off the end of the bridge. She's standing off the end, not like that new app has on it, where she's standing on the bridge. So she's standing off the end of the bridge, and Abby is still on the bridge when she's filming the suspect walking towards them, and he's about 50 to 60 feet away past platform 6. Originally, a lot of us, including myself, thought that photo was taken on platform 6, but a friend of mine named Beth and other people, Bonnie Rame, all went out there, and we got it all figured out. We found out the exact locations of each of the images that people see. All right, so that's what they were doing. It seems like they were actually having fun on the bridge, taking pictures, whimsically, hey, here's a picture. There was no, you could see that, you could just tell by the look on Abby when she's walking, and just the nature of the photographs, that they weren't in any sort of distress at the time. Okay, so then they make it across all the way to the other side of the bridge, which is the southeast side right over here. The person caught up to him, said, "Guys, hey guys," like that. "Yes, I'm trying to imitate." "Oh my God, Gray sounded just like him. He must be there." He said, "Hey guys, down the hill," right? So it wasn't in that quickly either. It wasn't like a sentence saying, "Hey guys, down the hill." It was, "Hey guys." Probably stepped past him, turned around and said, pulls out a gun and goes, "Get down that hill. Get down the hill." I think it says "get down the hill" and "hey guys," like, "Hey guys." You see how you can't really hear me say "hey," but what? "Hey guys," and "get down the hill. Get down the hill." See, the thing is it's just, you can't hear it perfectly, but it makes more sense because there's sort of this little staccato sound to it. But either way, who gives a crap? Either he said "down the hill" or "guys," like "guys," hey. And has them go down the hill. The part that always freaks me out is that at that moment, we've all had that moment where you're freaked out. I've said this many times on the show, but for anybody watching, you have those times in your life when you're really scared something's going to happen. You're maybe walking by people that look really dodgy. Your heart's starting to beat really quick. You're really nervous. I've had a couple instances in my life when I was younger. I had that feeling. And the sad part about this one is it never got better after that. Like, normally you have that freaky moment, oh God, oh shit. For them, it just kept getting worse and worse and worse, and the barbarian took them, and they ended up being found dead over here the following day. So they weren't found at night. that first night, I think because they were all searching way over here because the image that was on the internet, I think it was Snapchat, showed that they were on this side crossing over here. So there'd be no real reason that you would think the girls would walk across the stream. Okay, so you would have looked all over here, and they called the search off at midnight. You know, I'm not saying that was the greatest move in the world because you hadn't found anybody yet. But at the same time, it's wintertime, cold, it's dangerous out there. That's what they said. Okay. Hey, thanks, Michelle Nicholas. And so that's kind of the general, that's basically what happened, right? So I'm going to go play some of the old videos so you can sort of see the evolution of how, hell, even how I got to where I, my theory on it. There's other theories that the suspect was on the southeast side already, just waiting all day for somebody to cross. And then when they finally crossed, he decided to walk 100 feet past the girls, then turn around and come back. Okay, I just don't see that at all. I'm not saying it's not possible, it just doesn't make any sense to me. Okay. So we all on the same page. Any questions at this point? Any questions? Any questions at all? Apparently not. See, everybody on my channel already knows it. Oh wait, there's one. Do you think they were targeted? I don't think they were targeted. I think a person was. I just think whoever fit into this killer's trap was the target. It wasn't like he went there planning to kill those two. That's my opinion. Yeah, probably very similar to that Dalai Mama drama. I'm sure it's almost exactly like that. Mine was weird, kind of a strange instance, like I was stuck in I've told this story about 50 times, but in a van being dropped off. All the other kids were dropped off, and I was the last one left from a basketball camp, and the person I said, oh yeah, I live right here, and he just kept on driving. And at that moment, I had my hand on the door. I was going to just jump the hell out. But he eventually just turned around and drove me home, but I always wondered what the hell he was doing. But in this scenario, he would have kept on driving, locked me in the car, took me somewhere, and killed me somewhere, and so just trying to realize that panicky feeling. One night, this is going to sound absolutely ludicrous to you guys, but I think when I was in first grade, so give me a break, all right? I was at this camp affiliated with the same, and I was, people were talking about Bigfoot, Everybody, this is like 1970 something, when Bigfoot was a big deal. And I remember going to sleep at night and being so petrified because somebody told me a story, and the whole night I think people were snoring. I thought it was Bigfoot crawling around. Anything that was making noise, the entire 5 hours I was absolutely terrified. It was absolutely crazy, but that's a real story. So you just know that, man, that's all those hours of, it's a nightmare, I'm sure that's even worse, but I was trying to have a long-term parallel there. No, I don't think he was looking for just children. I think it was any female that fit into the trap. I think he was aware that there was nobody. He was kind of keeping track of everybody that was at the bridge, probably somewhere around in this area, because you can see here from right there, and you can see this whole bridge from right there. So right in that spot, he may have followed from far behind, and he was just waiting for somebody to cross the bridge, when he also then realized that everybody else who had gone down here had already come back. So he knew at that point there was nobody down there unless some random person came here, but he could always call it off at any point. So he's walking across, and let's say right at that moment some Man and his dog started coming. He just would have walked on by and pretended like he had something to do. He would have just, and even if he was here and he turned around and he looked behind him after he got off the end of the bridge, he probably glanced at the far end of the bridge again. He's looking back that way and he doesn't see anybody, and then he says, "Get downhill." Had he seen anybody coming at that point, he probably would have called it off again. Yeah, I mean, it's just horrendous that the nightmare came true. Yeah, exactly. Well, I'm not saying I'm 100% right, Daisy Warner. That's just my opinion of it, based on just what it looks like to me. It could be a million other things. We just don't actually have the answer, but that's my opinion. Yeah, exactly, Jamie. Crazy, huh? I've heard rumors of the cause of death. I don't really want to talk about the cause of death because to be honest with you, the cause of death isn't going to help any of us figure out who the killer is. And basically what I've been doing for the 4 years is trying to get out the most logical, factual information that I can come up with, and keep pushing it. Making sure that when people come out with just absolutely crazy stuff, that you don't allow it to become part of the conversation. And I think it's important. I wish more people did it like that, but it doesn't sell. So you'll have some just trash YouTuber putting out garbage and they get 50,000 views, and I'll put something out that's factual and interesting, but at the same time it's not sensationalistic, so it might get 4,000 or 5,000. Let's see. Sad how it works, but it does work that way. Yeah, I just said that, Sasmare. He was looking for somebody. I think he just took the two and figured he could handle them. He was probably hoping for one, though. I think it's ludicrous, Gongsicle. Yeah. Here's the truth, everybody. The bridge guy's face cannot be enhanced any more than it is right now to make it clear to anybody to see anything. There aren't enough pixels. At a certain point, if you only have 50 pixels making up somebody's face, I don't care if you want to add 1,000,000 pixels to it, it's not going to help define the face at all. It's actually going to change what it really would have looked like. But you have all these people out there that pretend that, oh yes, well I got the software, yes I got it from the Russians, I got it from the site. You got these people that do the audio enhancement of the sound in between, guys down the hill, in between that, and they say, oh look, you can hear him say sheriff, and you can hear him say, it's insane. But people believe it, and they make it, and those videos do well. It's amazing. What should happen is everybody shun those people, but it doesn't happen. All right, so anyways, I'm going to play some of these old videos. You guys want to see my very first video of me actually using my voice, and it was actually a Delphi video? Yeah, so I think it's way back here. Let's see. Attempt at a debunking. I'm really slow and lethargic sounding, but hey, you get to hear it. All right. Here it is, everybody. And look at the date there, August 2nd, 2017. So this is 6 months later. Prior to that, I'd been making actual videos on the case, but I started going, you know what? We need to debunk. So here we go. This will be my first attempt at a debunking
I almost
video.
feel like I'm going to yawn when I'm doing this.
on Facebook and other social media outlets, there's been an absolute deluge of
everybody.
false information and stories regarding the Libby and Abby murder case in Delphi, Indiana. Here will be this is the first example I'm going to show.
Oh, look at that.
This is a post that was made on a Facebook page that is absolutely ridiculous. Okay, and I blurred out the person's name who made the post because it's so embarrassing. All right. Now look at what they did was they found a news clip online, or perhaps they even recorded it. Then they froze a frame.
It's only 5 minutes.
Put their finger in it, pointing, and then took a snapshot and then made a post, and then they wrote. I'm not sure if this is their actual image that they created or got it from somebody else, and then they put in their own text that says, "The searchers are looking at Libby at the base of this tree." You know, nothing in there about possibly or I'm not sure about this. It's stating it as a fact. And then it says, "Probably in as much shock as I was to see the image of her face." What face are you talking about? It's just a blurry
I do sound sleepy.
image with
I just noticed
pixelation. It says, "No, I'm sure worse, though, because they were there in person." You know, so these posts are meant to be really emotional and get people to sort of really riled up, and there were so many comments below this that were just, feeling this pain and outrage and so forth, that, wow, we're actually really seeing it. And you know what? The video is completely false. Okay? Well, the video itself isn't false, but the image they use is completely false. Okay? Let me show you why. All right, so here's the image. You can see the guy in the yellow and the blue there.
See, this is good
All
shit
right,
right
a
here.
close up. The guy in the yellow right here. The guy in the blue. Here's a tree right there. Okay. Now in the clip on the news, this is that same tree, but what the news did was they did a jump cut to a previous point in time. So when you fast forward it, go to here, they're actually farther back to the right. That's just what they did in the editing room, but either way, that doesn't really matter. Here's the guy in the yellow, same guy in the blue. Look at the guy in the blue. See, same guy. All right, so there's the guy in the blue and the guy in the yellow. All right, so this is where I was able to determine where this video was actually taken from. Now, see these 3 logs in the water right here? 1, 2, 3. There's even a 4th one there. Some debris in the middle there. Now watch this. You go to Google Earth, and there it is, right there. There's even the 4th little one there. 1, 2, 3. There's some extra, one extra little, logs right there from. I think those were actually. It rained a lot, so maybe it deposited those logs. But either way, that log, and that log are exactly the same as in this video right here. There's even a little debris right there that you can see, and that same debris is right there. Okay, so that's the same location. Now watch exactly where this is located. Okay, I'm going to zoom out.
It's right near the
Now look at
parking
this.
spot. Nowhere near where.
Here's the parking area. So what the news did was they pulled up right here. They had a cameraman walk, and before they even started walking down the trail, they walked over to the bench that's near, the 501 step signs right there. They walked over to the bench, and then they just filmed off the side, and there was 2 searchers right here, okay? The crime scene, however, is 0.6 miles upstream. So you go all the way up here, and here's the crime scene, okay? So those searchers were nowhere near the crime scene, and there was no body there, and it was all just sensationalism. Okay, so hopefully that will explain the first debunking that I'm going to do, and there'll be a series of these. I'll try to do one every couple days because it's an absolute embarrassment, and people should just quit speculating and coming up with all these theories, saying they see, skulls in the dirt, they see faces in the trees, they see cars under the bridge, they see, it's
Thanks, Barbara
absolutely
Smith.
incredible out there. And as you can see, this one's a complete lie, and it was believed by a lot of people, and hopefully when they see this, they'll realize it was completely false.
All right, see, this is the kind of stuff you got to deal with.
All right, so thank you for watching, and we'll talk to you next time.
Yeah, see, I know. I'm sorry, everybody, that I'm a little slower back then. All right, but that was 4 years ago, so give me a break. That was the first time that I'd ever used my voice on a video. All right, so cut me some slack. No, well, you'd be surprised, Nashville TN, that just about, I'd say 90% of the people making videos were doing the same crap. Very similar, actually, to the Kanika Jenkins case. That's why I was able to quickly realize what was going on in that one and start debunking right away. As a matter of fact, that's all I did in that case. I did a few factual ones, but most of it was just debunking every video that came out for months. It was crazy. It was almost, I was performing a public service. All right, so now here's the helicopter one now. This one's even nuttier. And they were just still talking about this one a couple weeks ago, if you can believe it. Not the video that I made, but oh look, see right there? Because they're resurfacing now. Here we go.
This is debunked video number 2.
Look at more confidence.
Delphi
everybody.
murder case of Abby and Libby. Social media has
And I obviously made it in the summer because you could hear my air conditioning going. August 3rd, 2017.
a ton of different groups out there on these cases, or all cases, but this case has a particularly huge number, it seems like, popping up virtually every day. Some of them are actually dedicated to spreading rumors and
Kim.
wild speculation. And using the word wild is actually being kind. Some of the stuff is absolutely bizarre and strange, and just picturing some of these people sitting on a jury makes me a little nervous about society. All right, so here we go. We're going to start at the beginning here. And you'll see that there's a post right here that was in one of these groups. And all 3 of the images I'm going to debunk irrefutably are from the helicopter footage that you can see on YouTube or even on Facebook. And here's what it says. All of these photos were taken from the video pinned post in this group. I will encourage you to look very close to them and know this is actual footage the news released. And they want you to read that it's actual footage to imply some inherent credibility to the images that they're going to share with you, even though what they're sharing is, and trying to imply with the images, is completely bogus. Okay, so let's get started. Here's the first image. Look at that. Wow, a white car in the middle of the woods. How in the heck did that get there? That is incredible. Well, you know what? It's not. It's actually at the edge of the cemetery. And I'm going to show you this. Here's the helicopter flying in the air. Now, the helicopter footage has a lot of glitches in it, but this one will immediately zoom into it.
Oh,
now,
it's got a glitch. It's got a glitch.
Look
Oh my
right
God.
there in the background. There's a red vehicle right here and a white vehicle. And you'll see the vehicle. You can see the red vehicle, and the white vehicle is just down in the corner where my mouse pointer is. And then it's going to go down. You can see it fully there. The red car sort of disappears behind the trees because of the angle. And you can see that there's more vehicles. There's one there. There's one here. And that's just, it's at the back of the cemetery, okay? So that's what we're looking at. And
you can see that
what they
same
did was
shot.
they just took a still right here that made sure that you couldn't see any of the other cars. All right? And let me just prove to you that this is what we're looking at here. This is the proof that there is a red car. Now, right there. Here's the cemetery. Here's the red car in the corner. Everybody who's followed the case knows that there's an actual red car that was at the cemetery when the crime scene cars got there. Now look at, that's the white car that's in the footage, and more of them lined up right here. All right, so that basically debunks that image.
There isn't a singular car in the woods. It was at the edge of the cemetery. All right, now here's the second one. Wow, look at that, another car just sitting in the middle of the woods. But incredibly, it's totally bogus too, and here's why. There's the helicopter. Now look at, there's 625, the private drive. 625 becomes the private drive, and the car is already on the private drive. Now look, it's driving, and ooh, they stop it right there and crop it out, cutting out the road on the right and the left so that it looks like it's a car just in the middle of the woods somewhere. And here, this one I'm moving out, so you can see that's the exact same image. All right, so that image to me, they intentionally did that. It's not like you can accidentally crop out everything that would signify that it was actually on a road. All right, this was intentionally done to stir up some controversy. All right, so that's number 2, done. Now we're on to the third one. This one's a little bit more complicated, so I might stumble through it, but it's totally bogus. See, here's the yellow arrow pointing at, this is some water up here. It definitely is. It sparkles on the video. This is a still they took from it. And then this blue arrow is pointing down here to a crime, or not a crime, but where they believe they can see bodies. Okay, and it just isn't true. You can see, much like the suspect image, see how there's blobs of pixelation? Well, this is caused by video codec. Whenever you compress a video, you get some of these artifacts in there, like right there, there's right there. Okay, but the arrow's pointing right to this area. Now, what they did was you can actually see a little square in there, because I put an image in there. This is where they're
you can't actually
saying
see
they
it.
see the bodies, and they actually blew it up and then outlined it. Now you'll see it here in a second. I'm gonna right there. I just put it on the screen, and you can see that they actually outline what they see are bodies there. And I mean, that's just crazy in itself. Also, I mean, you're just drawing lines around.
Isn't that crazy?
You know,
everybody?
just color in a pattern. It's like looking at finding a rabbit in the clouds. All right. So
Yeah, Casey Parker. I think everybody has a credit card. Maybe everybody has debt. What kind of a question is that? Who gives a shit?
well, here's some of the comments. Everybody got so excited. Oh my God. You know, God, please, and I feel sick, and my
See,
heart
these are the
breaks,
people I always talk
and this is
about.
heart-wrenching.
I've got chills. Right? Ada, Truth Sleuth. I've got chills. Oh, man.
And, like, these people actually believe this stuff, and it's pretty incredible. All right, you know, here's some more comments. This person seemed somewhat skeptical, which is good. It's good to see somebody like that. And now we're back to the image. Now let me show you where this actually is. Okay, so let's start right here. Right here, you can barely see it, but that's the helicopter that's in that still shot. And here's the bridge, the Monon High Bridge.
Monon High. Sorry.
It might be Monon High. I can't remember exactly how you.
I even
Monon.
corrected it. All right.
But anyways, here's the bridge. Goes across. Here's the southeast side of the bridge. Here's the private 625 over there, and then the private drive. And then it goes around. And police vehicles actually parked right here, and it looks like there's another one driving there. I can't see very well right now, but we're not playing the video. But let's see.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, actually, this is where the vehicles were parked. Excuse me. There might be some more down there, but I can't tell. But this
You know,
is
it's
where
weird when I listen to this. I can tell that I was nervous back then, even recording myself. I could just tell.
the vehicles were parked. The crime scene itself is right over in this area. Okay. So now we're going to zoom in on the helicopters. See that? Now it's right over the southeast end of the bridge, basically. And now it's heading out into, more southeast over there. Now it's taking a hard left, I think, heading north. And now look. This is the key right here, this area. Now notice, right now you have this object, and see this line right here? It's a discoloration. This video was taken in February. Google Earth is actually April of this year. Amazingly, they just updated it. Google Earth. So you have this discoloration line, and it runs right into the curve here. All right, so let's go over here. All right, there's the curve, the discoloration. Can you see that? Right there, it's slightly different than this, but it's greener now because it's April, and it runs right into the curve. All right, that's where that shot is when you go back to the video editing software. Now the helicopter crosses the dry area and goes across, and when it goes across, you see, boom,
Well, thanks.
this area right here. It's like a road and then another road going this way. Well, let's go back over to Google Earth, and it's right there. Okay, so the side road that goes on along, and this one goes here, and here's that little sort of point that you see right there. Okay. Right, so now the helicopter continues in this direction. And we'll see that. And it starts to pixelate, and then it freezes. Okay, now you see this little, that is water. Okay, but what that is water from a creek. Okay, it's one of the not
Deer Creek.
not Deer Creek, but it's one of the feeder small creeks that feed into it, and I'll show you right here. All right, so these creeks right here, that's what you're looking at, is exactly that right there. The helicopter's right over here flying. It just passed that, kind of came down, and you're looking at the water in this creek right here. Okay, now look where that is compared to the crime scene. The crime scene's way over here. Okay, so the supposed bodies they were looking at were right here. Now, after this video is produced, you're going to have people in that same group say, wow, so there's 2 more bodies? Instead of actually saying, oh, wow, that really was bogus. Okay, so for all the rodeo clowns out there that are actually making these images and spreading them around, don't do it. It's actually hurting the case. All right? So I'll be putting more of these out, and thank you.
Contrast with this.
Oh yeah, the next one's a good one. Next one's a good one. Don't forget, everybody, I'm just a cup of coffee. Got 340 watching. There, hold on. So this is the next one, the debunk number 3. All right. So now I think I do get more confident as we go. But there we go.
Contrast with this disturbing image. And could there be a tantalizing clue in this poignant last photograph taken of 13-year-old Abigail Williams by her best friend? Look, in the distance, some see a shadowy figure.
Wow. Hooray for the sensationalism. Good job there, Inside Edition. I'm sure, however, in their defense, they were just probably lingering on a Facebook post somewhere, saw the excitement that people got, and by looking at that image, and so they thought they'd just put it in their video to get people really like, wow, geez, look at that, whoa. Okay, but in reality, there's nobody there. All right. So let's get started analyzing this image. I lightened up the image that has Abby in it, and Libby's the one that took the photograph. She's on platform number 3, and there's 1, 2, and she's on number 3. Okay, let's show you from Google Earth exactly where this is. All right, so here's platform 1, here's 2, 3. She's on platform 3.
Just
Abby's 13 feet away. The shot was taken at this angle, like this. Yeah, now in relationship to the parking area, the parking area is here. You walk right here, you turn, you come down the path right there. If you notice, right here is that original
Chewbacca?
Oh, that's what came in on Streamlabs.
Chewbacca if you want me to.
Oh, there it is.
Cup Coffee. Thanks so much, Gray, for your channel and all you do.
Well, thank you. Very cool. Thank you very much. Debunking video location where the 2 searchers did not see a body. Okay, so the girls walked this way, walked down the path, and they came across the bridge, and this is the location of that image looking back this way. Libby also took the first shot she took on the...
Yeah, listen, when people say it was planned and they're like, yeah, here's the thing. I think it was planned,
The victim, however, wasn't planned. They were just waiting for the right person to come by, like a spider web, and just waiting for a fly to land in it, like somebody said earlier.
The bridge that went to Snapchat was right in this location between platform 2 and 3 and filming in this direction. So she was pointing in the opposite direction. Okay, so let's get back to analyzing the video. All right, now here's one of the
See, they always say, see these two, can you see those two vertical, maybe you can't because it's so small, but way down there in the background, still to this day, people keep saying those are people there, when it's already been proven it's part of a barrier that's there. Thanks, Lisa Corinne, Kit Kat, Carolina T, Kevin Brown, Zozo.
more crazy viewings that somebody had of this image. You know, they looked at it, and then they made a post where they put this scrunched up looking face, almost looks like
right
Jimmy
there.
Durante, if you guys know who that is.
Right there.
All right, now look at
right
this.
here.
They're actually focusing on this area right here, and here is the post. You see that? A nose, a mouth, eye, maybe a cheek over there. You know, from a distance, you look at it and go, yeah, it sure looks like a face, but they, you know, obviously they cropped out all the rest of it. And to be honest, it doesn't really even look like a real face. It just looks ludicrous, okay? So it just looks like a squished face, like if you'd made a face out of clay and then smashed it on top of its head with a brick, squishing it down, and that's kind of what it...
And I'm funny, man. You know, I make myself laugh. Thank you. Yeah, this was a big deal. Do you remember this, Truth Sleuth? Like, this was around. Do you see that face? Look at it. Look at it. Hey, thanks, Jamie McLaughlin. I'm going to wait because we're going to get the cat eye sound here in a second. I'm just telling you guys, like, this isn't uncommon. It's still out there. The same wild, crazy stuff. Yeah, remember that, people? Yeah. Jamie McLaughlin.
Straight. No chaser.
looks like, all right? So look at this. I'm going to show you exactly where it came
right
from.
there.
Look at that. See? So somebody actually cropped this out. It's actually part of the railroad tie.
And said it was a face.
Can you believe it? Unbelievable. Okay. So now we're going to go look at something else at another location. All right, you see this image right here was a video by Julie Melvin. She's in the exact spot that Libby was when she took, I mean, within 3 or 4 feet of where Libby was when she took the shot of Abby. Okay, Abby was standing about right here. It's just at a different angle. Libby was off to the side, to the left a little bit, as you can see if I move this over. That's the same location. These disrupted railroad ties are the same ones that are, it's right there. Okay. I don't know if you could see that, but...
you could, though. You could.
All right. So see how there's a dark area right there? That's one of the locations people say they see somebody. And then also right here, they say they see somebody. And then back, way in the back there, I'm not sure if you can see it. Let me try to enlarge this. They say that that's a person. Okay? And you can see it in this image too. It's way back there. It's pretty small though. Let me see if I can zoom in on that a little bit.
You guys can see that though, can't you? What I'm talking about?
Yeah, right back there. And that's the same thing as in this image right here. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to move forward in a video, and I'm going to go all the way up here, and then you're going to see, I didn't stop near those people, by the way, because like so many of you in these groups, you see a person, doesn't even matter
when the video was taken or anything. They go, oh my God, is that the suspect? And they start looking them up and getting all excited about it. I can just tell you those were two women sitting on the bridge, okay? They were there like anybody else looking at the bridge. All right, now here we are. This is that same tree that they say this is a suspect. Looks more like a branch. And here is the metal bar in the background right there. It's actually a metal bar. Let me show you what I'm talking about. I'm going to zoom it in. And look at that. It's actually a metal
barrier,
like gate with a tall tree. There's no person there. You see that? Not at all. Okay, so can we quit talking about that as being a person standing there? All right, now let me show you that the tree off to the right of Abby, that everyone says they see a suspect, or not everyone, but they used to say it all the time, and you still see posts about it. Let me use a different video. Now this one's an absolutely clear video by Bonnie Rame. The last video was by Julie Melvin, if I hadn't said that. Okay, so here she is. She's at platform 2, which is closer, but you can see it really well right there. That's the tree, and that's the little branch behind it that people thought was a person. I don't think it's that crazy that people saw these shapes and maybe thought they were something. The problem is they've been debunked for months and months and months, and they still pop up from time to time.
Months.
It's almost like, God, I'm bored. I tell you what, bring out one of the oldies, huh? Let's bring that one out and see what we can get. I mean, that's like classic trolling. So let me zoom in on this one a little bit, and right there. See it? So it's a branch. And here's the tree, and there's absolutely nothing else to it. And no, this person here is not the suspect. I know you guys are looking at it like, ooh, God, look at that, look at that. This video was taken in March. That's the husband of Bonnie Rame, who were both out there filming the bridge because I asked them to get me some footage. Hey, it's Alex. and in specific locations.
My niece.
I think she was actually going to go there on her own one time and then went there specifically for me. I'm playing my oldies, my debunking videos from 4 years ago on this case. The 4-year anniversary is coming up. Look at that. It's Alex Hughes, soccer player extraordinaire, genius. My niece. I can't claim that it runs in the family. I'm not as smart.
Hey, Uncle Gray.
Well, thank you. This might have been the time she went on her own. But anyways, she got, not on her own, but with her husband, but she got a, really good footage out of it. So I think that pretty much debunks everything. If we go back to that original, I'm not sure if this dark... Hello, Grant. Hello, Robin. Dark spot right here, as I showed you, it just shows up in the other footage. Let's go back to it, which is all the way back here, and I think I need to do the fit to the screen. Yeah, it's crazy, 4 years, huh? And see the dark spots right there again. So it's just an anomaly in the woods. It's not, unless you're saying that there's also somebody standing there in March too. Okay, it's not. That's just in the woods. I mean, if you follow this in a little bit. So yeah, I loved my logic back then. It was great. Like, yeah, you see the dark spot in the picture that Libby took with her phone on February 13th, 2017. But then in March, that same dark spot's there. Was the guy still standing there a month later? You can still kind of see it right there. See? That's not a person. Still not a person, and
it never becomes a person.
See it's just part of a tree right there. All right. So hopefully this explains all 4 of these aspects: the gate at the end, the person supposedly behind this tree right there, and the dark spot up in the woods, and the incredible scrunched up face in the woods. All right. So for all you rodeo clowns out there, quit posting the garbage.
All right. Rodeo clowns.
Hello, this is debunking video number 4 of the Delphi, Indiana. You guys mind if you want to just keep going through these? Because I think they're kind of funny and they're interesting, and it'll keep people. If you're lucky enough to be watching this, you might not listen to some of the garbage that you see coming out on pretty much a daily basis still.
And a murder case of Abby and Libby. I will be talking today about the suspect image, and there's two speculations that I'll be dealing with right here. One is ludicrous, and the other one is reasonable if you're somebody who doesn't know anything about video compression. Okay, and that's why it's reasonable, because I don't think a lot of people actually understand video compression and the artifacts that are left behind. In this video, or in this image, excuse me, you'll see right there where it's blurry, and then it's blurry in between the legs. I've heard people say, though, that that's actually a plastic bag flapping around behind him, and right there. And then in this video, in this image, there's pixelation that goes all the way up there, and people have suggested that law enforcement clone stamped out something they didn't want us to see in that area. But what they fail to ever talk about when they say that is, so why is it blurry up here, all the way over there, back there, all the way around in this area? Same sort of pixelation look. Well, when I first saw these images, I knew what it was, that it's actually video compression that caused this. It's an artifact caused by video compression. All right, and let me give you an example of that. Before I go to the example, though, I do believe this image, though, was cropped from a larger image. So there is other information in the larger video, but we haven't been able to see that yet. Okay, and let me right there. This is an example right here. I think it looked kind of like this. This is in my.
See, look at that. I did that overlay all those years ago. Look how perfectly that lined up with these branches, by the way. Very close. I mean, it was right there.
Flow 3 video, if you haven't seen it. All right, so I think they cropped out the image from that. All right, so let me give you an example of another video that has that same type of pixelation from compressed video, and that's on. I'm going to use this video by Jacob Adams, and he has a great drone video of the bridge on YouTube. And when you actually scrub through it, look at that right there. See how there you can see the trees pretty well right there? Now I'm just going to move. Boom, look at that. I mean, absolutely.
Oh my God, law enforcement
destroyed by
clone stamped it all out of there.
Looks like a fog bank flew in 1 second. And here we go. Even all the way down the bridge, you can see that it's pixelated the whole time. The compressor or codec was having a difficult time distinguishing the branches on the trees and blurred them all together. So that's what we're looking at.
Man, I got my lips smacking and gums.
Here is video compression.
I think I was just nervous back then. Dry mouth.
Artifacts. And it's exactly the same. I mean, look at that. See the blurriness? Then I go back to the original, and it's got that same sort of blurriness around. That's what you get when you compress video. Now here's the second part that's actually ludicrous, okay? Here's the suspect image, and then somebody posted this image. This is the head of the suspect. And
it's Jimmy Durante.
It's, what they did was they just put a cigarette and claimed that, oh wow, look, I found a cigarette. But they just cropped it in there. They actually put the cigarette on the face, even put the ashen end of it. I mean, that's insane. Like the detail on that. You can't even make out an eye, really. Like they are claiming like that's an eye. I mean, it's really hard to tell in any of these images. It's so blurry. But the cigarette is shockingly good detail. All right. Now this is what it really looks like here. Watch this. All right. So there's the face, and then you put it off to the side. You can see like this image has no cigarette next to it. All right, they just put that in there. There's absolutely no way in hell you can see a cigarette in that image. So this is another one of those cases where somebody intentionally is trying to deceive people. Okay. Sure, the guy might have been a cigarette smoker.
He might have heart underwear on. We don't know, okay? You just can't tell. There's some things you're just not going to know. And also there's the person who posted this picture with the cigarette also thinks this is a puppy that's coming out of the jacket, okay? And, you know, it's just one of those things where you just go, wow, unbelievable. So my work's cut out for me. I feel like this video just debunked two more aspects. So if we can move on from that, that'd be great. And for the rest of you rodeo clowns who actually want to keep posting this, just realize it's hurting the case and not helping solve anything. Thank you. This is debunk video number 5. We are going to debunk the suggestion that the two suspect images of the suspect on the bridge are actually two different people. Okay, I actually still hear this garbage. Okay, and we're also going to discuss the dog under the jacket. Okay, because there are some things that you can't disprove factually, but can strongly suggest that it's not true. Okay, which is sad because the people who believe there's a dog under the jacket will take that as to mean, so it is a dog. It is a dog. Okay, but we'll talk about both of them. All right, so let's look at the suspect images. Okay, let's just look at this one first, and notice how there's like this indentation in the sleeve, then some folds here. You got this straight line coming down off the white object there, and now let's put the overlay. I made an overlay of just the upper part of the body that fits right over the top of this one. Okay, now notice that this has the same folds in the arm, the same straight line coming down from the white. Oh yeah, so what this part is here is somebody claimed that the two images that were released by law enforcement early on were actually two completely different people dressed very similarly. Okay, so what I'm doing is doing the overlay of each of the images at the time. Those are the only two that were available. Okay, but watch how the wrinkles are exactly the same. So you're telling me that they went around walking around with the same wrinkles in their jacket. These two different people. Right thing. And I'm going to go blink it on and off. You see that? That's the same thing. Now, unless you believe that the two people were at home and they said, listen, we need to have exactly the same folds in our jacket to really trick people, so let's use some epoxy and make a solid fold, make some solid folds so people can't, so it won't change and people will think it's the same person, but we're really two people. Okay? And we'll both put a white thing underneath our chin, and we'll make the same exact buttons on our jacket or zipper or whatever that pattern is that we're looking at there. You see? Oh, by the way, just to let you know, Susanna and Chris Cunningham, I was talking to somebody on Facebook who said he was out there with a thermo-equipped drone. And he just really couldn't tell me that he flew right over that spot. But he said they didn't find anything. He knows he went flying way over here in different areas, but he doesn't know for sure if he flew right over that spot. So that's pretty crazy. He probably got the same information that is probably on this side of the creek. See, so you got this and then this. That's the same. So yes, it's one person. There aren't two people, so quit talking about that. Now let's talk about, what people claim to be a dog. All right, now you see this white thing there? Listen, in the real world, dogs don't have outlines on them. That's a cartoon world. Like when you're watching the Flintstones, right? People say, for example, in this case, they say that the dog's sideways, but the eyes are right there and right there. Well, when you watch the Flintstones, when their face is sideways, you can still see both their eyes. When when their mouth is sideways, you see both their eyes. Well, that doesn't work like that in the real world. Okay, and this right here, are you I've seen where someone said that's the nose of the dog, then the eyes are right here. This is a paw, the stomach area is right around in there, and these are some legs underneath the jacket, and so forth. Okay, it's just so incredibly unlikely. And let's watch the overlay back and forth. You see how that's just not a dog? Right? This white thing, it actually then it extends after you do the overlay back and forth. I mean, it's interesting watching this actually because you can see on the head here. In this image right here, the suspect is looking more to his right. Then in the overlay, he turns to his left a little bit more. So that's why in this image, the short bill of the hat he's wearing blended in perfectly with the ear flap, and that's why it looked like a hoodie in this image for so long. Okay. Then when he turns his head a little bit towards the camera, you can see a little bit of skin there, slight bill there, and the ear flaps on the side. Okay. Now just keep looking at the white spot again there. And just look at it objectively when it's blinking on and off. How is that a dog? Okay, and like I said before, all I can say is it's not. I don't think it's reasonable to think that's a dog. I think people early on in the case heard the term catfishing and were convinced that that must be what he did. So then they saw a dog, and they're unable to change their mind over time because that's what they see in their eyes. So, I mean, I really think that they might see something, but it's irrational. Okay, because I don't see a dog at all, and most people don't see a dog, and there isn't a dog. Like I said, characters don't have, in the real world, humans and animals and trees and whatever don't have outlines. It's not like a coloring book. All right, so if you'll admit, for the dog seers out there, if you'll admit that this is not part of a dog right here, this white object, then I'll admit to you that it's possible, much like aliens from Zeta Minor could have abducted the suspect, and that's why we can't find him. It's possible that there is a chihuahua or something just inside the jacket there, creating some of these bulges. We just don't know. I've heard somebody say that maybe he's got on heart-shaped underwear, right? But we just don't know. Okay, so if you'll admit that this white object right here has nothing to do with the dog, I'll admit that it's possible that there is some kind of a chihuahua underneath this jacket. Okay? That's what I can do for you. But this is one of those ones that you can't absolutely prove because I can't see under his jacket. I don't know what's in his pocket. All right? And nobody knows what the brown... is that a fanny pack or is that just an extension of his shirt? We just don't know. Okay, I think that this right here, if you go out a little bit, this white right here is skin on his hand, and I think he's propping up something that's in this pocket. Okay, his left hand is lower, if you notice, and that's in his jean pocket. This right hand's up higher. His jean pocket would be right around in this area, and it's higher, and it looks like it's propping something up. I don't know what he's propping up, and I don't even know if he's actually propping something up. I can just say it looks like that. Okay, I see something white coming out of his. Looks almost kind of like a rope, and possibly, I've talked to a few friends about this. Again, we don't know because you can't see underneath the jacket. But it kind of looks like this white thing extends and then goes down, maybe wraps around. It could be a rope underneath the jacket. It's hard to say. All right, so I think it's not a dog, and there are not two different suspects on the bridge. Okay, all I can tell you is that
this is from August 2017.
I am certain that there isn't a dog underneath the jacket. A certain, just the belief that I have based on what happened. The suspect caught up with the girls. They went to the end. He got him to go to the end of the bridge and had him go down the hill. There wasn't any, oh, check out my puppy. None of that happened. Okay. Now, if you're saying he just brought a puppy along with him, that's a little weird too, right? He's just walking around with a puppy in his jacket. That seems pretty crazy. I've heard people say that. Yeah, I'm just going to move on to the next one. Let's see. Like that one. It's a good one. Hello, this is Debunk video number 6 in the Debunk series. I'm adding my debunking music to it. There's a Facebook group that's purely dedicated to spreading rumors and lies and wild speculation. I'm not really sure why they do the lie part. It's pretty strange, actually. This video, though, is about this particular post, and this is by one of the admins of the group who seem to just have no concept of what facts are. They take some facts, then twist it around and come up with their own little, numbers and time. Thanks, Jessica Shuba.
Chewbacca? Oh, I'll be Chewbacca if you want me to.
Names, and it's just it's mind-boggling. It's almost like they purposefully do this. As a matter of fact, in one of my previous debunking videos, they're the same person that cropped out some of the cars and showed the two searchers finding bodies. Same group, just not true whatsoever. Unfortunately, though, there's, I believe, 1,000 people or so in this group, and these people, a lot of them actually believe it. Fortunately, though, there's some people in there that actually don't agree and will speak up, and for those people, I applaud you. Good job. You can't let this kind of garbage go out on the internet. It's ridiculous. Okay, so here's some background information. About, a couple months ago or even further, I was speaking to Becky, the grandmother of Libby, about the case. She liked my I think this one just goes over the timeline. And we already have all that. So I don't really, this is Debunk. Let me find the next one. Alright. So here's one on with Jerry Holman in it. This is the one that says, "Why I make debunking videos." Hello. This is going to be a video today that's not an actual debunking video, but it's about why I do the debunking videos. I think that when people speculate on a case, they should do it from a foundation of facts. Okay, when you speculate, you see how consistent I am, everybody? Like everybody that watches my show, I still say that exact same thing 4 years later. All right, I don't shift with the winds of popular demand. On speculation, you get into la la land. I mean, for example, somebody the other day said, well, that person has blue eyes, so it can't be the suspect. And this other person followed up with, well, maybe they had colored contacts on to make their eyes brown when they're really blue underneath. So let's keep looking at this person. Hey, listen, moron. You're wrong, okay? Just quit the wild speculation. It's insanity. All right? And if you guys could see some of the actual hateful stuff that are in these groups written about me just for doing these videos that debunk absolute garbage, you'd be This is about when I started to get, I used to get pissed. My attitude came a little bit more, I don't know, aggressive or something. Ashamed of society, okay? Yeah, you might not like the way I talk or the way I joke around or I'm sarcastic or whatever, but it's an absolute embarrassment what you guys are doing, all right? So let's listen to this first clip. This is actually a interview by Alexis McAdams. It's an awesome interview, okay, for Fox 59. All right, and she's interviewing Sergeant Jerry Holman. Now listen to this. It's unbelievable.
We keep working, but and I think a lot of people are misled by some of the Facebook postings, and social media is not as helpful as some people might think. So,
boy, you got that right. Not as helpful as you might think. Wow, that was the quickest bail I've ever seen, Mag. Thank you. It was like perfect timing. Thank you very much. Well, Kit Kat had me, she said I was so mean, so that means I had to go to jail. But Mag's bail came in so fast that I was out like in 2 seconds. Thanks, Mag!
Prayers they find these killers soon. Gray, you're awesome, and the news media should come to you for correct info.
You know, I always thought they should have used some of the things that I made a long time ago, like my animation that I made. You know, and then 3 years later, it's a big deal because this guy made a virtual reality thing that's not even accurate. Pretty weird. Facebook presence in this case, for the most part, has been absolutely ridiculous. I mean, you've got these groups that are all they talk about is rumors, and they're so proud of themselves. You know, it's you know, they even follow up what they say with, "We got this." Yeah, right, because you see 16 faces under the bridge. You know, like an army clinging from the bottom of the bridge, and they're all going to flip up onto the top. It's insane. You know, and I'm just winging this one because I'm so disappointed with these people. It's a joke. All right, now let's... Yeah, because there's actually a video out there that somebody made that said that there's a whole bunch of people hanging from the bridge. Let's listen to what Jerry Holman said a few minutes later.
So that one person knows the details of the crime. That's why we don't like to talk about the details and what we found, what we didn't find, because when we do get that person, we do talk to them, they're the only ones that are going to know the details of this. And that's another reason why we don't like Facebook putting false information out, because then people believe that, and then they tip off of those details that are false, and it just kind of impedes our investigation a little bit.
Yeah, you see that? Can everybody just listen to what he just said right there? This is me live again. Hey, thanks, R. Rose M. Wow. It's gonna make a loud sound again in a second. But see what he just said right there is absolutely true. We'll play it again.
What we found, what we didn't find.
Thank you.
Because when we do get that person, we do talk to them, they're the only ones that are going to know the details of this. And that's another reason why we don't like Facebook putting false information out, because then people believe that, and then they tip off of those details that are false, and it just kind of impedes our investigation a little bit.
Exactly. So you see all those people that you post, and you say, "Oh, this is the guy, this is the guy." I mean, you wouldn't believe. I get messages sent to me by absolute, I don't even know what you call these people, but they send me these pictures of different people, and they want me to say, "Oh my God, wow, that's so incredible." But I just go, "How did you find this person?" "Well, I was just surfing on Facebook." And then I tell them, "Well, what do you think the odds are that you were just surfing on Facebook, and you saw a guy with a goatee, maybe he had some reddish hair, and by God, you're going to turn him into the tip line? You people are nuts." Okay, now let's move on to the next one.
Here, so we can't release everything we have, because there's only certain people that know the details. And if we release everything, then we get into possible false confessions and people over exaggerating, embellishing information put on Facebook like we already battle with. So we can only give so much.
Facebook thing, I know that's been that's had a huge effect too on the family. I mean, and that's like, you know, probably a few years ago, if this case would happen, or like, you know, a decade ago, that wouldn't even have been a thing. Has that interfered with the case?
Oh, absolutely. I talked to some of the older
Did you hear that? You people have absolutely interfered with the case. That's why I'm doing these videos.
investigators. They didn't have to deal with that. When I talk about some of the stresses of social media, I mean, I've had tip on me from interviewing with other stations. Absolutely. We've had tips on other police.
Isn't that disgusting? That some moron was watching this guy give an interview, trying to get the information out, and somebody turned him in. Okay, and you know what's kind of funny about this is early on in this case, on the 23rd of February, which is only 9 days after they were found, I came up with my Flow 3 theory, and I knew it was right. Okay, I felt like it was right at the time. Okay, but people said, "Whoa, this guy knows too much. Oh my God." So they actually turned me into the Indiana State Police website, but instead of crying about it, I uploaded my Flow 3 video, and guess what? It was so accurate that one of them somebody in law enforcement actually contacted me. Okay, and I'm not going to tell you who it was, but they were just impressed with how I was able to come up with the flow of the crime with publicly available information. All right?
That was Robert
And that's
Ives,
just the truth. All right? And the reason I'm telling you this now is because in this 27-minute video here, Jerry Holman actually confirms my theory. Okay? And here it is.
We don't know.
When you walked down and I walked through, that was private property, right, where the bodies were found, looking at logistically from, where they were on the bridge and then to where their bodies were found. I know we talked about the terrain in the past. I mean, it's not an easy thing to navigate. Usually you might have to be familiar with the area. I mean, would it have been difficult for the girls to travel from where they were on the bridge to where they were found?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it would be difficult. Obviously, they have to go through some pretty steep terrain and wooded area, sticker bushes and things like that. So it's and then to cross the creek, I mean, obviously is.
Did you hear that, rodeo clowns? They were on the other side of the bridge, then they had to cross the creek. So down the hill is right on the other side of the bridge. Okay, there's no other option now.
See, this is right where, even at this time, people still weren't believing the theory that I have. And you know what's funny is now everybody goes, "Oh, it's obvious. It's obvious. Oh, it's obvious. Oh, yeah, it's really obvious." Well, the thing is, it wasn't obvious to anybody back then. And I can tell you that firsthand, that nobody was saying any of the stuff that I was saying. I saw the shallow spot on the creek, how it's down the hill from the opposite side. They would have crossed that, then over, because there was everybody, "Oh, they must have walked across the bridge because it was so cold. There's no way they'd go in the water." And have all these other alternate theories out there. And now that's what everybody says now as the common knowledge. Well, no, it seems obvious to you now, Rebecca, because I've explained it to you guys 1,000 times. But back then, it wasn't obvious to anybody. I mean, literally. I was getting pushback all the time. And Ives even said that they watch what my video and think that is what happened. I'm not sure if my video helped them figure it out or how it worked, but that sort of sounded like what Ives told us in an interview a while back, or no, he told me that on Facebook or something like that. They had to cross the creek. Did you hear that? Okay, good.
February is probably not the warmest. It was a warm day that.
You would think it would be obvious, though. I'll give you that.
Day, but still, the water temperature is probably cooler than the air temperature. So, yeah, it would have been difficult for. I mean, I don't think anybody would say, "Hey, let's on a walk would walk that way." So.
Walking back.
All right, now let's get back to the actual other part of the interview. I just wanted to put that in there because that was really interesting, and I've gone through this similar things. I still have people saying, "Oh, wow, so Where does this gray guy live anyways? What is he? They're looking into me. Isn't that a joke? I mean, you know what? Hey, guess what, everybody? I have a goatee, too. It's got a little gray in it. And I'm actually 51 years old. Oh, my God! Because there aren't 20 million of us in the United States. All right, so let's get back to this.
Officers, for whatever reason. We've had people that do their blogs that put out false information, and if I tell them that's false, and then they embellish and tell people that I'm giving out details of the case, which we're not. I will try to squash any rumors that people call and ask about without jeopardizing the integrity of the investigation. But yeah, then, I can't imagine what the family's going through just because of the incident. But now you have social media with all these rumors and false implications that they just got to be driving them crazy. And
I can tell you for sure it does drive the family crazy. I've actually asked, and it drives them nuts. Okay? All they want is answers, but let's all start getting answers from a foundation of facts. Okay? So once all the facts are known, and there's a lot of facts that are known surrounding the actual murder, okay, once they're known, then you can speculate on that. But when you start with a speculation, you should just start watching the show Ancient Aliens, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. It's ludicrous. All right.
Talk to the family quite a bit and try to tell them, don't believe everything you hear on social media. I think it could be positive, but what I would say is instead of posting on Facebook, call us before and let us.
Did you hear that? Instead of posting it on social media, call us. You know how many times people post a big drama post? Oh, I saw this guy. Oh, my God. But they don't even, then they say, should I call law enforcement? Well, maybe that's what he's talking about right here. Call them first instead of this huge drama post on Facebook. It's embarrassing. This isn't some game where it's like a, soap opera. It's not a soap opera. Everyone just sit around and make up stuff and, oh, hell, this is so cute and funny. No. Let's just get all the facts that we can, and then speculate on that reasonably.
Mazzarone.
Okay? And I hope that you know what that means.
Investigate it, because once you put it out there and it is false, then it interferes with our investigation, and it bogs us down, because then people start tipping off of false information and we follow up on every tip. So I think social media is a challenge for us, and we're trying to utilize it to the best of our abilities, but it is definitely something that interferes with our investigations at times.
Man, I actually feel sorry for law enforcement in this one.
Thumbs up.
Can you imagine? I mean, all the officers that morons on Facebook have reported. It's just an absolute joke. Anyways, I had to put this video out. This is why I make them. I'm going to keep making them. I'm going to keep debunking the garbage. And when I make factual videos, it will be facts. And if there's speculation in there, it will be based on those facts. Okay? So for you rodeo clowns, quit doing what you're doing. And for the rest of you, keep up the good work.
You know what I need is like a rodeo clown laugh, like maybe something like that. I don't know. Let's see. Oh,
wow, look at this.
This is the best one. This is my best one right here. Here we go, everybody. Come on, here we go.
Oh, wow, look at this. It's incredible. See the eyes right there? And the another eye right there. And it looks like a mouth and then chin. A big nose right here. But can you see that? Look at that. Eye, and maybe some tears right there. And, it was actually popcorn. Huh. That's crazy. And what you just witnessed is a phenomenon called Pareidolia. Kind of a strange word I haven't seen before, but I think I pronounced that right. And if you can look right here, it says...
Listen to this.
Come on, window. the tendency to perceive a specific, often meaningful image in a random or ambiguous visual pattern. Okay, now here's how it's pronounced.
Pareidolia.
Okay, let's listen to that again.
Pareidolia.
Wait a minute, did you hear the way that guy sounded? He sounded like the same guy that says down the hill. Whoa, maybe you should call up Webster Dictionary, see who makes these recordings, and see if he was anywhere near Indiana at the time. It's amazing. Let's do that again.
Pareidolia.
Can you hear that? Down the hill.
Pareidolia.
Kind of has that scruffy sound. Wow. Okay, see, that's actually what people do in these groups. They go off on these wild tangents, and believe me, they're wild tangents. They don't perceive it that way, though. That's just that's the truth. They just don't want to hear it.
Yeah, Cindy, what happened to your paint chip? I still have the first level. I was going to extend it for a little bit because of the pandemic.
And look, here's an
one.
example of one that I did. My friend tried to trick me. She sent me this image. You go, look at that. Can you see the... there's like a beagle. It's pooping. It's got the ears, the nose right there, top of the head. It's crouched down.
See, you guys can see that, right? There's definitely a beagle pooping.
Look at that. It's over there, doing its thing.
Definitely a beagle pooping.
And I was like, I don't know. Looks kind of too small, so I had her send me the original image. And by God, it's a Dasania water bottle. Looks nothing like a beagle.
It might not be Dasania.
When you take
I think
away
it's that
all
other
the
brand.
blurriness.
Can't
See?
remember.
I don't know if it is a Dasania water bottle.
It's a different
but it looks
brand.
like one, okay? But here's the blurry image. And look at that. It's the same image. But when you blur it out and you start zooming in on pixels...
And see, that's what happens. See, everybody? Like right there, it looks like a beagle pooping. And see, that's what happens when you make something blurry. It's the same thing with EVP reading. You can't hear it, so they suggest what it is, and now you see that. Yeah, it was Aquafina, right? So it's right there, it's a beagle because I'm telling you it is. There's even the black nose. There's the top of the head, the ears hanging down. There's its body, and it's crouched down to poop. There's its front legs and the back legs right there. See, it's definitely pooping right there, right?
You can see all kinds of random things. All right?
And that's what they do on these. So they tell you what you see. Now that doesn't look like a beagle at all because it's clear. And that's what blurry shit in videos does.
That's an example that, at first I thought, wow, that does look like a beagle. But the difference between me and a lot of people that I know and some of these Facebook people that are the wild speculator types is that once presented with the image that's clear and shows the water bottle, which, this one clearly shows that it's a water bottle, I then don't keep going back to this image and saying, no, but everybody, look at that. It's really a beagle. Okay? Once you see this right here, you should change your complete idea of the situation and move on. Okay? But what we keep seeing is that even after things have been explained to some people, they keep bringing it up. They can't let it go because they were so they believed it so strongly that they can't let it go. It's like cognitive dissonance, or there's another term, I think it's called confirmation bias. Now they can't let it go, so everything they look at will help try to explain what they believe instead of actually changing their own mind based on the new evidence that they've received. Okay, and here's another one. A lot of people said they see a face right here, and this was on Mars, okay? NASA even sent a satellite to Mars and filmed that specific area to see if it indeed was a face put there by some long-lost civilization. All right, so let's move it forward here. You can see, here's another satellite image. It's getting a little dicey now, not really a face. And then 1976, that was the one that sort of started looking like a face, but then now it doesn't look anything like a face when they get really clear resolution on it. Okay, it's still kind of an interesting overall shape, but it's not a face.
Yeah, you could definitely make something out of this, though, right? Come on. What is this thing? Let's see. That's a
Oh, it's a gun. Look, it's a gun. There's the there's the wrist holding the gun, and it's firing.
All right.
Anyways, I'm going to move on to the next one. That just kind of keeps going over various things. Yeah, I don't know. I think I'll switch over to the non-debunking videos. All right, so now you guys can see some of it. This is the original. Okay, right here. So when the case started, and I had a hard time explaining to people how the flow of the crime was, I had a really difficult time explaining it to people. So what I would do is, I can't remember what it's called, but there was a software like you could share your screen with somebody. My friend remembered the name of it the other day. I can't remember now. But you could share your screen. It was a pay-for-service. And I would go over and explain it to everybody. And I would do this all the time. I would just keep having people contact me, and I would do the same thing over and over. And then I just realized, why don't I just record this, what I'm doing? And so I started recording it and then uploading it to YouTube. Now this one right here, look at the date on this, everybody. This is February 25th, 2017. Just 11 days after they were found. Now this is actually the second upload of this video because I found a minor error in it, so I uploaded it again. Even though it was really getting a lot of views, the error bothered me, and so I just said, screw it. And I deleted it and uploaded the next one. Now, what sucks about that is that first one was the one where in the comment section, the one I deleted, where Robert Ives saw the video and he said, hey, I sent you, do you ever check your email? I sent you an email. So I checked my email, and there was an email from what looked like the prosecutor in Carroll County, and I was trying to figure out if it was even real. And then I emailed him back, and he was like, no, I am. Here, you can check over here. And I was like, whoa, okay. So then the next day, I called his office, and I said, can I speak with Robert Ives? And his secretary or office manager, whatever it is, said, oh, he's not available. He's not available. I'll let him know that you called, though. So she goes back there, and then boom! I mean, he got right on the phone at that point, and we talked about it for a while. And he said to me, well, if we ever have a case, I would hire you to create these graphics because they really explain what's going on, but we could provide you with information that would allow you to be more accurate on the locations. Well, the case wasn't being solved, and I don't think he was given permission to give me more information. So that's when Beth and Bonnie and other people, I asked them if they could go out to the bridge for me, and while on the phone they would film various places so that we could figure out exactly where different locations were. And just a second. Trying to find something here. So anyways, I'll play this flow video for you. This is the very first concept that I had. Yeah, some of the locations on the bridge are off by quite a bit, like 15, 30 feet, something like that, because this is prior to having any video evidence to figure out the exact locations. But this is essentially what I would show people when they would call me up. Or, get a hold of my computer, I mean. Remember that creepy music? So these are all people that had videos on YouTube back then. And this is before I used my voice. That's on the southeast side of the bridge. And so you can see the forked tree right there. Actually, this first one is just the suspect location. It's not the flow video. Yeah, you can really see it. Look, watch. See, there's the forked tree, and I'm trying to line it up with the... See? Boom. Look at that. It's just... He's a little too big and everything, but that's where it is. That's where it was. Wow, see, Gray, he cropped him in the bridge. Look at, he just put him there. That's... See, now I'm doing it in this location. And this is more accurate because there's platform 6 right there. The angle sucks, so it's not... Camera needs to be over about 2 feet to the right and down a little Man, that was a long time ago. Man. Look at how many few yellow dots are on Google Earth. Do you see that, everybody? Oh, man. Jeez. Yeah, so this is all wrong right here. See, that's when I thought, this is back when I thought Libby was on that platform, but she's off the end of the bridge. The suspect's about right here. So, this was my original videos. We got better later. And the thing is, this one isn't as accurate, but it still puts him on the right side of the bridge, and I was trying to prove to people, because people didn't think he was on this side of the bridge in that picture, if you can believe it. So I had to show that, hey, there's that forked tree, and that forked tree changed everything, and it wasn't even me who saw the forked tree. It was some lady who goes, oh, look, there's a forked tree. And even she didn't believe that it was on this side of the bridge, even after I explained it to her 1,000 times. I mean, really frustrating person to talk to. So in this image, the person who took this shot on the right is standing on platform 6. However, that's not where Libby was when she did it. You can see the forked tree, though, because it's so far away. What's this? Is this now? Is that a real thing going? Oh, wow. What was that? I don't even know what I shut down. What was that thing there? That was kind of interesting. Are you guys still able to watch the show? So this is it right here. This is right now on February 24th, which was a day before that last video, just 10 days after they found Abby and Libby. I made this flow video. But here's what's weird. When you think back in time, it was it seemed like 4 months in between that time and when I made this video. Because it was hell every single day talking to these crazy people over and over and over. They just wouldn't, it was relentless. So here's what I would do when somebody would contact my computer. I would show them on the screen this exact thing that I'm going to show you right now. It's still, like I said, it's off on the bridge, but it's close enough. That's why Robert Ives said, hey, we can give you video evidence so that you can be very accurate on that bridge. But I did it sooner than that by getting Beth and Bonnie and hell, even Julie Melvin went out there and filmed something for me. Okay. So this is what I would show people. Okay, look, here's how so let me start it over again. You can see it's called flow of the crime. That's actually a phrase that I invented, the flow of the crime. And, you know, I'm showing you exactly how it went. Walked across the bridge. And those are off, those two pictures right there. Because like we found out later, Libby's standing on that platform right there. And so that's my very first attempt at this back then. Thanks, MP! Hey, look at the bears dancing on the screen. It is dark. It kind of fits it though, doesn't it? See, that's off too. Now it's Libby is off the end of the bridge over here, and the suspect is way past that last platform. All right, so those are all the things, but it's in the same order. It just needs to be slid in a different direction. So again, this is just 10 days after they were found. I don't know, it's just music, Casey. Just music. I'm chewing on ice again, okay? Here, so check this out. This is one of the key things. See that tree? The bent tree that goes over? Right there. Boom. So that's how I figured out where the crime scene was. By watching that video, knowing where that bank is over there. See the shallow spot and that bent tree that goes over the water right there. I guess the music stopped on the video. But see, look, there's the bent tree, there's the shallow spot, and the crime scene's right there. Oh, you were a victim of Coleman? That's crazy. Alright, I'll check my email. Alright, Nashville, Tennessee. Yeah, I mean, there's no reason you know, I don't know the name of this music. Who cares? That's why I said that. Yeah, see right up there, I'm trying to show everybody when I would have people get on my computer exactly why I know it is where it is. It worked on some people. Some people were just like so jaded with their own beliefs that they just couldn't see anything. Okay. Now, I think this was the second one that I made. Yeah, it's the one with the body in the apartment.
This video is a more comprehensive look at
and this one I started using the British voice. It's awesome.
Evidence indicating the crime scene flow, in the case of Libby and Abby, of Delphi, Indiana. You are looking at video of the drive to the most likely spot that Libby and Abby were dropped off for their...
Yeah, this is March 3rd. It wasn't most likely, it was the spot, okay?
A hike on the Monon High Bridge trail.
I don't know what you're talking about, Andrew. Sorry, buddy. Yeah, I've got lots of people. I don't know what that means. You still have other. What does that mean?
Libby and Abby head down the trail.
So here we go. You can see it.
Perhaps the killer was nearby, watching and waiting for an opportunity to strike. He probably was aware of the traffic on the bridge prior to Libby and Abby arriving, and knew there was no other hikers on the south side of the bridge.
See, my theory hasn't really changed much since then, because there's been nothing presented that has changed it at all. See, there they are, walking on the bridge, Libby and Abby.
Libby and Abby began to cross the bridge, and after crossing the river section and continuing on, Libby stopped to take a photograph of the tracks on the bridge facing southeast.
See, this is wrong. Hey, thank you, MP. Wow, $27.99.
Love your edge and intelligent take on all of these cases. Great work.
Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, so right here, where I'm saying is wrong, because this is way back in March, I think, 2nd of 2017. I didn't have the photographic evidence yet. Beth and Bonnie hadn't gone out. Libby is right here on this platform, and Abby's about right there. So that part isn't accurate, but the flow is still the same. I don't know what your... well, send me an email with your... Is that what your name is on the other one? Okay. Was that your name on the other one, Andrew? Are you banned from my channel only, or what? Facebook, or what? What are you saying?
Hey Gray. No worries. It's been banned for 3 years now. Appreciate what you do here.
Yeah. And by the way, everybody, I've decided to... It's going to be hard for me, but I'm going to try not to care. When you guys are on my show, you can talk about whatever the hell you want to talk about, if that's what you want to do. Because I know that there are people that are just listening to what I'm going over, and they don't get distracted by the chat. And so when I get distracted by the chat, I think it sort of sucks for them. So I'm going to try to just be... I know it's going to be hard for me because I like when people are actually conversing about what we're talking about. But, I also want you to be able to, your friends in here, so you should be able to talk about whatever the hell you want to talk about. Okay? All right. So that's what I'm going to try to do. So no more, hey, everybody, stay on topic, stay on topic. The people that want to stay on topic can, and everybody else can do whatever the hell they want to do.
Continuing southeast about 90 feet.
Oh, that's what it is? Okay, I'll see if I can find that one later and unban it. I can't do it right now, though. Let me put it in here or something. Alright. Hopefully I can remember. Alright, so this was the second flow video.
Libby stops and turns around 180
that was really
degrees
close.
and snaps another.
Okay, so that was close. So I was just slide them both. Abby's much closer, and then Libby's right there. So that first one was not far off either. So I'm getting closer and closer each time I was doing these.
The picture. This time with Abby in the shot. Libby and Abby continue southeast. Perhaps after they reached the halfway point, the suspect, who had been trailing far behind, made his move and began quickly walking across the bridge. He knew there was nobody hiking in front of the girls. Near the southeast portion of the bridge, Libby and Abby...
And that's not right, because Libby... I think Libby was always ahead of Abby.
Likely noticed the man moving quickly towards them. They moved to the platform and hoped he would pass. Libby was thoughtful enough to record the man coming towards them on video, and then put the phone in her pocket while still recording. In this composite of the suspects using the image Libby captured on film, it appears he turns towards the girls.
See, isn't that weird? The video now almost confirms that he sort of turns and starts walking more towards them. But I only had 2 images back then, and I was saying that. See, look at, boom. He kind of looks like he's pivoted.
Unfortunately, we do not have the height and weight at this time, but it appears to me he's wearing blue jeans, a blue jacket and or a coat, and it appears to me that he has a hoodie on.
See, that's totally off right there. So he passed them. They were on the end of the bridge. He stepped off, then had them go down the hill. They weren't right there. So again, this is my second flow video, but everything's getting more and more accurate as I go. Hey, thanks, Rose M.
The suspect took the girls off the southeast end of the bridge. Yellow crime scene tape can be seen here, indicating that the crime...
A Chewbacca?
Chewbacca?
I'll be Chewbacca if you want me to be.
Continued in this direction. The suspect can be heard ordering the girls to go down the hill.
Downhill. Downhill.
Another indication that the crime continued on the grounds to the east off of the southeast end of the bridge is that police parked on the private drive east of the bridge. From the end of the southeast portion of the bridge to the edge of the creek is only 105 yards. Given the location of the bodies, the suspect either carried them across the creek, or while the girls were still alive, were ordered to wade across. As you can see, the water is shallow here. 270 yards from the west side of the stream is the cemetery, where law enforcement parked to secure the crime scene where Libby and Abby were found. I hope this video helped you have a better understanding of the crime scene flow.
There you go. There you go. Now let's see what the next one is. Let's see. So I did a second suspect location one, but I'm going to go right to crime scene flow 3. This was the final one that I did after I had the information from Beth and Bonnie and even Julie Melvin's video. Okay, so after that I put together sort of the final version of this, which shows the whole trip. Okay, and it's pretty clear the whole way. So hopefully this is something that if you're new to the case, you can see exactly how it went down, or at least the flow of the crime. Okay. Has the voice again.
Abby and Libby were dropped off here and began their walk to the Monon High Bridge.
This was filmed in March that year, so it looked just like this. Doesn't have a stabilizer on the camera, so it's a little bit shaky. By the way, Andrew, I just unblocked. Yeah, it has this exact same name, but you're unblocked now, okay? So this is about the same pace. This literally does the entire walk, okay? So the entire video is only 14 minutes long. So if they were dropped off at 1:37, they could have potentially been there a lot quicker. So I think they were, you know, as my mom would say, lollygagging around. Hey, thanks, Andrew. What do you mean no signal? What does that mean?
Thanks, Gray.
Let's see, hold on a second. See, like this video has 49,000 views, which seems like a lot, but a video like this, in this case, should have 500,000 to 1 million, right? This video here literally shows you every single thing you need to know about kind of what it looked like out there, and the walk to the bridge, the walk across the bridge. I mean, it has everything. It's not a long walk at all. It's only a half mile from the parking spot to the beginning of the bridge, if that. Yeah, it's not even close. It's only 0.4 miles from where they park to the start of the bridge, or even maybe even like 0.36. So now you can see the beginning of the bridge. You can see the barriers up there with the one tree in the middle.
The video is approaching the red gates that many claim are actually people, in the photo with Abby in it. As you can see, it's merely a gate with a tree.
It's really just a barrier. And let me hold on one second. Let me tell you when this was filmed. This video was made on March 27th, so about 6 weeks after they were found. So we had all of the accurate information 6 weeks later, and after that, I don't give a damn what somebody's going to try to tell me. Something different, it's not going to be accurate because we knew. Like, you know when you just know something, right? So here's the start of the bridge. Looked almost exactly like this. Probably a little sunnier that day, but clearer sky. It looks a little hazy out there.
Platform 1 is 47 feet from the start of the northwest end of the bridge.
I think it's going to be solved in the next couple of years for sure.
Platform 2 is 187 feet from the northwest end of the bridge. Shot 1. Platform 2 Divine is 42 feet 9 inches, approximately 36 feet to Libby's camera location.
Okay, so watch the stuff that we figured out here. Now, when you watch this, if you don't know that we have exactly the spots, let me know, okay? Because you'll see right here that it's 100% accurate. There isn't even like a slight deviation.
And approximately 236 feet from the northwest end of the bridge.
There it is. I can see it right now.
Watch this, everybody. Here we go. Boom. No doubt about it. 100%. That's exactly where Libby was when she took that full
Approximately
shot.
97 feet further from the vine is platform 3, 333 feet from the northwest end of the bridge.
Thank you, Sarah M. Why do I think what, Teresa? Why do I think what? What do you mean? You're like, what I just said about the exact location? Or the case being solved. I just think it will be.
Shot 2.
Now
Libby
watch this
positions
one. Right
herself on platform 3 and takes a picture of Abby.
Yeah, I've said it 100 times. I had Beth and Jesus. I can't even remember the name. Bonnie Rame. Beth and Bonnie went out there and filmed.
Let today be the day.
Exactly. This
Folded
is
hands.
I think this is Bonnie filming this, or it could be Beth. I can't remember. But you know, I had them do exactly what I wanted them to do. That little vine on the ground. I said, I think it was Beth who filmed this. I said, yeah, listen, you gotta get that vine, find that exact vine. And she kept sending me pictures. I go, nope, nope, nope. And then boom, there it is. And then we knew exactly where it was.
Abby is 13 feet 4 inches from the edge of the platform.
Thank you, Sarah.
The image is taken at 2:07 p.m. on February 13th, 2017.
Yep. Right off platform.
Abby and
3.
Libby continue southeast.
The weird thing is, I don't know why people are going out there at this point unless you're literally trying to figure out distances and stuff, but it's already figured out, so it's like a pretty dangerous place.
Platform 4 is approximately 474 feet from the northwest end of the bridge and 308.
This right here is the forked tree we're coming up to. And as you'll see, it's weird how the forked tree that's behind the suspect is actually really far away from platform 5. And there's all these trees in between that actually make the forked tree look.
82 feet from the southeast end.
So now we're getting almost exactly what it looked like where this guy's walking. I mean, you could actually say that this look that you're seeing.
Forked tree.
See, that's the forked
These
tree.
trees are what make up the forked tree in the background of the suspect image, as you will see later. The forked tree is approximately 567 feet from the northwest end of the bridge and 289 feet from the southeast end.
I mean, this could almost be the eyes of the suspect, right? This is what how it looked like when he was
Platform
walking.
5 is the platform behind the suspect in the video still. It's also approximately 625 feet from the northwest end of the bridge and 225 feet from the southeast end. When viewing the suspect image, there is an unusual bright spot on the side rail to the right of and behind the suspect's right calf. This will be shown later. Platform 6 is 70 feet from the end of the southeast end of the bridge, while the suspect is approximately 73 feet.
Yeah, he's actually a little bit closer, about 60. So that part's changed a little bit since then. That's it. But it's right in that area. It's hard to tell for sure because we're just using the video
to decide.
Abby and Libby were off at the southeast end of the bridge when Libby shot video of the suspect.
See, it's right here.
The suspect is heading towards them in the video stills.
See, this is right where... And this is such a cool video. See that little... Right there? The that was the damaged railroad ties that make up the white nodule.
As you can see, the light area, as discussed earlier, is on side rail in both images. Platform 5 and the fork tree are behind the...
Look how
Note that the stripes of the rail...
Look at the tree, too, behind it. So I'm blinking the picture so you can compare it. This image right here, right there, is so close to exactly how it was. So watch when I'm blinking this character right here, the bridge guy. Watch the branches, how they are almost perfectly lined up. Wow.
Road ties on the underlying video match the suspect image as well. The suspect likely forced Libby and Abby down the hill at the southeast end of the bridge.
And I think some of this is part of some of Julie Melvin. And this map up here in the upper right actually shows you where the camera is. I should have put it like a dot or something. And that's the private drive right there. Then there's another hill. Yeah, that same sound of the gravel being...
To where the bridge ends.
Or leaves even.
Going across here.
So as soon as you get down there, you start walking. So he had them walk right around this area.
And I keep hearing that four-wheeler.
See that sound on the ground? That's leaves. That's the same sound that you can hear on the audio file. She actually references me here and says, "Oh, there's that bent tree like that one YouTuber."
So is he on to all the way here to the actual creek? I just want to give people to show you. Again, like the guy had in the video. See that limb? That's an outstanding limb. And just to give you an idea, here is how shallow you can see the rocks. So you can cross there. You can go over here and cross. So you're already in the middle. You cross there. You're already in the middle, and you don't have too much further to go.
And you can see the crime scene tape right there. See that yellow tape? So that's again another proof that that's where it was. See, and there's that. They were standing on that side of the river, looking up at it, and here's that tape on this side. Yeah, they had to cross the creek. Yep, we've talked about that 1,000 times. Yeah, so there we go. That was the final flow video. Let's see what else we got here. Alright, now here's the animation. Let's just play this one. This is the 3D animation that I made that shows you those locations again and sort of the relative positions. See, that's where right where she was when that picture was taken of the full length of the bridge. Abby behind her. Platform 3. She gets on it. That was a very hard animation to make because the shadows created by them. I had to make as like a mat and a fake bridge, 3D bridge that just captured the shadows. But like, why didn't like HLN or somebody use this? I mean, Becky even said this was really accurate. This is what it was like on the... It just kind of loops back and forth. I use 3D Studio Max and IPI Soft for recording. I used motion capture to do all the different things that they're doing. And, Premiere, Photoshop, everything. The subscription that I use some of the donations for is $1,500 a year for 3D Studio Max. And it was cool too because I was able to use the there's a time, you can actually put the correct date, time, and daylight savings time and everything, and the sun gets put in the correct position. Yeah, I like Blender. I haven't quite I use Blender to convert the characters from another program so that they worked in my IPI Soft. But I don't really know how to use Blender that well. I mean, it's a great software program for being free, you know. Yeah, this took me a long time because I had to model a bridge that sort of mimicked how the look of this bridge, and then I captured the shadows and the characters, just not the object of the bridge. So then the shadows are on the bridge and it looks like they're really there. See, I think that might be how it went, that they could see him coming from behind there. And see, she's just about at the end and he kind of catches up. She might have been a little further back. Alright, well, it just kind of repeats, but yeah, that right there really shows how it went. You know, you didn't need the new augmented reality thing to show that. All they had to do was use this one. Well, there's some people that can just walk right across the bridge. Me, nope. I'm just going to call you Menup. Yeah, some people can just walk right across it if they're not scared of heights, and then other people might be a little tentative to walk across it. It just kind of depends. Let's see. Not sure what this one is. Oh yeah, this was later on. Your video got a very similar look. Looks a certain way. Like, for example, right here, this little white nodule that you see right there. It's actually probably about a meter-long section of the side rail that's damaged. Might be a little shorter than that, but that's just what my memory is from seeing the actual video of them, of my friends walking by and filming that spot. Okay, but I've always wanted to take the suspect video and place it on the bridge so you could see how he looked at the time. So, oh, that's right. This is the one where I made him Let's see. Yeah, see, that's the first attempt at the... When did I make this one? And at the end here, what I did was I just kept repeating the distance shot because it gives you sort of a natural feel like he's walking back there. So look at that right there, everybody. That's just like... And that's what he looked like. And that's actually 100% speed right there. See, I think that's about the best way to look at this video. Unfortunately, nobody seems to want to do it.
Now I'm going to...
keep playing the same
I'll play you
damn
the
one.
entire thing full screen with the audio as well. Okay, so I hope this helps visualize the Delphi suspect in a better way. I think if this is spread around, a lot more people have a chance of recognizing him, because this is a much better way of viewing the suspect. Okay, so thank you for watching, and here is the full screen version with the audio as well.
Downhill. Guys. 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 Downhill. Guys.
Well, cool, Mag. I'm glad. That's kind of what the whole purpose of me doing these things. I want people to really understand how I come up with this stuff, and then you'll understand, you know, why I believe so strongly in the things that I believe in after I've spent all the time figuring it out. You know, I'm not... Once I know something to be true, then I'll really fight for it. But prior to that, I might say, no, it's like this, and then somebody shows, oh, well, you know what? Shit. And I can change on a dime, because I want to have the accurate information.
Downhill. Guys.
Guys.
Downhill. Guys.
Guys.
Downhill. Guys. Downhill. Guys. Downhill. Guys. Downhill. Guys. Guys.
Thank you, Jennifer.
Downhill. Guys. Downhill. Guys. Downhill. Guys. Downhill. Guys.
I actually think the wider shot like this means more. This is probably what it really looked like, and they cropped him out of that. But it makes it seem... You can really see how he's moving around.
Downhill. Guys. Downhill. Guys.
Yeah, you're not supposed to look. You've been told this 100 times. Don't look at the... Like if he's stepping over something, you got all these people, oh, looks like he's got a hurt knee, because they're such experts on it. We don't have a clue if he's got a hurt knee. If it turns out he has a hurt knee, or something like that, or a limp or something, it's not because you detected it. Okay? It'll just be that, oh, wow, he did have a hurt knee. There's nothing in this walk that suggests that at all. There's all these gaps between the railroad ties, and he's stepping over it. It'll be pure luck if it turns out, oh, well, he did have a bum knee.
Guys. Downhill. Guys. Downhill. Guys. Downhill.
Now there you go. And I have the shorter version. We'll do that one again. This is the one that I want people to share out there. So here, I'm putting it in the description. I mean, look at that. Only 6,185 views on a video that is kind of groundbreaking in terms of looking at the suspect. It's just not cool, you know? It doesn't have the, you know, the wow factor or something in the title, or maybe, I'd have no idea. Okay? It's unreal. And this needs to be shared all over the place, because this has the phone number on it, and it also shows you the way he actually looks when he's walking. So there's a video link in the chat right now. You should go out and share it in places. But what you get is these people on Facebook and different social medias, they don't like me, so they won't share it. So what that really shows you is that they really have no intention or desire to help solve anything. Yeah, it's not really that weird at all, Susan. Yeah, it's not even strange. You know how we know it's not strange? At all? I can show you. Hold on a second. Wow. She has her hands in her pockets too. I mean, the only two shots of people that we have on the bridge both have their hands in their pockets. That doesn't mean anything. See, what K Creation just tried to type in there was something to try to make it seem like she's really onto like a sleuthy. You can't do any. The thing you just mentioned in there, you can't do. All right, has nothing to do with anything. At that time, oh my God. Yeah, there's a 207 timestamp on one of the images. What does that have to do with where the bridge guy is and the distance and anything? Nothing. Okay? There's absolutely nothing on that. Come on, Kay. What I would like to have is the timestamp on the video that was recorded. I want to know when that was recorded. I have a feeling it's probably around 2:20 to 2:30. Something. It could even be 2:15 to 2:20, and then when the dad got there at 3:15, they were probably already dead at that point. But there's information out there that the suspect was still around for another half hour, even after the father was looking, if you can believe that. So 3:45, still there. And we already said 207, Bonita girl. Said it 15 times already. I'm just referring to what Kay typed up above. It made no sense at all. It was an attempt to sound really like something that would, oh, wow, that's so interesting. But there's nothing in that statement that's doable, nor did it even make any sense. All right. So here we go. So the answer to your question, Kay, is no, I didn't do that. Let's see. Because it's not doable. So now I do actually have information on, if you're interested, I can show you the route driven from the home of Libby to the parking spot. It's a 10-minute video. So
this is Gray Hughes.
So loud.
This video today is going to show you the route that...
It was probably a little earlier than that. This is just when I originally did this, before I had the accurate information.
Kelsey took Abby and Libby on to get to the parking area.
It would have been more like 1:30. They would have left it. This should be about probably 1:29 or something like that.
Near the Monon High Bridge trails. I've gotten to know Becky through messaging, and she's a real nice lady, and I feel bad for what happened. But all we can do is try to put the pieces of the puzzle together, and perhaps somebody will remember something and call law enforcement. Now, this video that you're watching right now, it actually starts on...
I think originally they said 1:45, but then checking phone information, it was 1:37, so that's why I set this up to land at the bridge at 1:45, but should be 1:37.
They're on Becky's property as they drive out. Now you'll see up in the upper left-hand corner, this is the approximate time of day.
That guy's ridiculous.
And over here in the upper right is the Google Earth overlay.
See, that's when I knew. You know the guy that does the profiling? He's like a profiler guy. He was like doing shout outs to that guy that you just mentioned, Andrew, and this other person that are ridiculous videos. I mean, that's not just like my opinion, it's factually just crazy videos on cases, and he gave them shout outs like they were really onto something. And that's when I realized that guy doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. Lost all my respect for him, even though he gave me a shout out in the same, not that guy, Jesus, John Douglas. No, it was the, no, not those guys. The profiler guy, whatever his name is. He does the Delphi, I don't know, somebody knows the name. Who gives a shit? Anyways, he actually gave me a shout out, and it was embarrassing to me after he gave those other two shout outs, because I don't want to be anywhere near associated with them at all.
It's not perfect, the car is way too big and everything, but it just kind of gives you a representation.
Yeah, that's the name that Zodi just typed in.
On the map where they are, okay? So like right now,
I don't think he was actually technically one, but that's what he calls himself. I've seen him on IDTV before.
Past that house, and then all of a sudden, right now, you're going to be getting, this will be a cornfield. Now, this Google Earth image is actually more representative of the time of year where there was no leaves on the trees.
No, I just told you
the video that Becky shot for me.
Jody 77.
The video that you're watching was filmed in the summer at some point. And you can see that the foliage is, green and covers everything. Okay, so keep in mind it's a lot. In February 13th, it's a lot bare, and the trees would look more like this tree right here everywhere. I'm not really sure why that tree doesn't have leaves on it. Oh, it must be something nefarious. Check out the owner of that tree. All right, so here's the drive that Kelsey took the girls on to get to the bridge. Now, here's how this situation went. At around 1 o'clock...
Which chat are you talking about, JoJo? Why are you coming here to talk to me? Yeah, like, for example, if somebody goes on to one of the chats that was racist towards my wife and called me all kinds of names, yeah, I don't like that when my moderators go over there. Is that okay, JoJo? Or yes, it does bother me, but I don't look for it. People send me information and go, look, man, one of your moderators is over on this garbage channel. Do you condone that, JoJo?
Libby and Abby decided, hey, let's go to the bridge. So they asked Becky if they could go to...
I don't care if a subscriber goes and watches over there. I don't give a shit what, I mean, if you're a subscriber, you're on here and you can watch any videos you want. But when I have a moderator or somebody like that, yeah, it bothers me. Yeah.
The bridge. And Becky said, yes, you can go to the bridge if you can get a ride there and a ride back, but you cannot go if you...
What is JC?
Do not secure rides, all right?
Just cause?
So, Becky had Libby call...
Yeah, I just said that, idiot. Hey, JoJo, I just said that, you moron. I just said that exact same thing. They can watch whatever they want. Okay? But if I have a moderator and they're on a channel that's trashed me, they're not going to be a moderator anymore. Is that okay with you, JoJo? You're right. They have the right to do whatever they want, but I also have a right to remove them, right? Okay, thank you. God, what an idiot.
Called Derrick. Derrick is Libby's father. Derrick was already on an errand for Becky, taking photos for her appraisal business. Okay, and he drove all the way down to Frankfurt. All right, and let me see if I can tell you how long. Frankfurt is 27 miles away. All right, so Becky estimated that at that point Derrick would be back between 1.5 to 2 hours.
See you later,
After
JoJo.
to pick up the girls.
Your comment,
1.5 to 2 hours.
Your final comment never made it to the air, JoJo. Nice try, you idiot.
All right. So the girls left the house around 1:30, 1:35-ish. And they arrive at the parking area at about 1:45. Okay, now it's hard to know for sure because in some of this footage, Becky was driving like Mario Andretti. I mean, she was going really fast. I don't know how fast Kelsey was driving, but sometimes teenagers even drive faster. Okay, so, do what you want. You can watch this video and you can just see the route. And I think it's interesting, all right? It's interesting just realizing that, at this point, they're just driving to the bridge and there's absolutely, nothing to fear.
Good for you, Kim.
They're just going to have a good time at the bridge. And
why do you want to listen to that
driving
music?
them to that area. Now, Kelsey was...
why do people sleuth the music I'm playing? Like, who gives a shit? What, are you going to go listen to a depressing soundtrack for a few hours at your house? Or
just going to drop them off and then I guess go to a friend's house and then drive to work. Okay? And that's why they needed to secure a ride home, and Derrick...
Yeah, we were just waiting for that one troll to show up tonight.
That ride home. Now, I actually have Derrick's route as well, and you'll see that in another video. It shows what I have is the part, when he's maybe 2 miles away coming back into town.
Are you talking about the music that was in Flow 3? It's all the same. Kevin MacLeod does all the music that I use.
And that's all on film as well, and you'll be able to see the timing and where he was when he made the phone calls. Okay, so he made a phone call at 3:11 and 3:14 to the girls. Both went unanswered.
Look at small
Okay,
1199.
cell phones take the last full minute too. So if you call somebody at 3:14 and 50 seconds, it says 3:14, not 3:15.
Ah, Fort Wayne, Indiana. That's the April Tinsley case location.
All right, so I'm not sure exactly where they are on the overall full map. I do have another window open off to the side here.
That makes sense. What music are you talking about, Kim? Was it the one where the music in the Flow 3 video, or the scary music that I was playing prior? JoJo
But,
does
I mean,
what?
really, this is just for you to watch. There was another route that Kelsey would take sometimes too, but I guess on that route you might ding up your car more with some gravel, so she didn't go that way.
So it's kind of a longer type drive, although I've stopped the video a couple times. It's like 7 minutes or so. 7 or 8.
Yeah. Now, I know this will happen for sure. So during this,
watch this
video clip here, a car drives by, and then there's somebody else on a motorcycle that drives by. I will bet $1 million. Well, not really, because I won't pay it, but I will bet $1 million that somebody will take the image.
Oh yeah, that one's cool.
Okay, I take that back. I don't bet $1 million. All right, I will just bet you anything that
anything. Oh,
they will take the image, pause it, and zoom in and say, "Oh, look, that's the guy." You know, without any evidence at all, and then that person's face will get put out all over the place, okay? So I always feel sorry for the people that even show up in any of the videos. So if you get hassled or anything, like here comes the motorcycle guy, right? Now you can pause it, and boom, oh, look at, he had the hat on. I think he even had a beard and some glasses. Oh, my God, it must be the killer. You know, that's the other case I'm working on right now is or I've been working on, it's not really even a case, it's an accident. The Kanika Jenkins case. They're the same type of lunacy goes on in that case as this one. However, that case has way, way more people. And it's like swimming upstream, okay? Now, in this case, if you're new to this case, you should go back and watch the debunking videos I made before joining any Facebook groups of any kind, okay? Because you'll get sucked in to the same nonsense of seeing faces in the wood, cars under the bridge, 16 people hanging from the bridge itself. It goes on and on. Hell, they even had organ harvesting in this case. That's incredible. It's like the same themes get brought up over and over and over again. Okay, now we're getting on the home stretch to the parking area. All right. So I think let's see where we're at. We're actually.
You know what's funny is the people laughing are the ones that have been around
coming
the
up
whole
around
time.
here, and then there's a straightaway, and then they park.
Seen
the car.
all of the shit that I just mentioned right there.
Okay.
Isn't that right? Lee D in truth.
So I really appreciate Becky doing this for me, and I'm glad to finally get it out.
So
I was gonna just put this all in one.
This is Becky doing. She got in her car and drove it just for me, and then sent me the video.
Big long video. That was actually the cemetery right there on the left, the famous cemetery that the law enforcement parked at. A lot of people suspect the suspect escaped through the cemetery.
So the time is about 8 minutes
seen.
off up there. Maybe not 8, but like
but
6
apparently
minutes,
he was
7
seen,
minutes.
so it's probably not likely it was at the cemetery. Could be though. So the parking area for the trails is coming up. And
That's
see
right.
that red gate there?
Right
That
there.
gate, I don't believe, was there prior to this incident. So you would just park here, or near here, and then just walk onto the trail, as you've seen
See
in
right
my
there.
flow videos.
Like that.
Okay? So I hope this helped you picture the route better, and I'll be doing the Derrick route as well. I also have made animations on the bridge of the different photos that.
Here's the one of Derrick's final drive.
Hello, this is Gray Hughes. This video will be about the route that Derrick took to the bridge after, to the parking area after his errands that he ran for Becky down in Frankfurt. He was going down there to take photographs for her appraisal business and would be back within an hour and a half to 2 hours. All right. And he was already on his way down there when Libby
called him to ask if he could pick them up when he came back, and he agreed to do so, and he would call when he was about to return. Okay, so really quickly, let me show you his route, the full route. Okay, it's the red one here. All right. So he's all the way down in Frankfurt right here. And then he drove back this way, went through Flora. And we're going to pick up with video the route from right here where this yellow tack is, where it says Derrick drive back. All right, now let's...
Yeah, it's not really in the middle of nowhere, Rebecca. See, everyone always tries to say that this is in some remote area. Look at this town right there. It's right there. Hold on one second. There's the town, and then there's people that live right there. Then you just go walk down this trail. There's a bridge. There's people that live there. Right, there's a cemetery there. Houses here. It's it's rural for sure, but it's not remote. There's nothing remote about it. All right, not at all.
Right click on the route itself, and you can see that it's 27 miles. All right. So, probably 35 minutes both ways. Take 30 to 45 minutes to take some pictures, and you're back within an hour and a half to 2 hours. All right. So let's just get started right here where the route is. You'll notice.
Good night, Mag. Thank you very much.
When I zoom in,
I appreciate it, and
my Google Earth
in general. I appreciate it.
Overlay that I have in the upper right-hand corner starts right here.
And the PayPal the other day.
Same, right there.
You keep the lights on.
Let's get started.
Yeah, I'm not convinced that he lives anywhere near here. I think he knows he's been there before, but I don't think he's... I never thought he lived in the town.
Look at this drive out here. It's actually a pretty area.
I mean, if local means 15 or 20 miles, maybe.
Farmland and...
thank you.
Lots of spaces between homes and so forth. But let me bring something up. There is a YouTuber out there named Tachyon.
Yeah, remember that Tachyon time?
Claims this whole thing is a hoax. And he actually thinks that I'm part of the cover-up, using my videos. I mean, this guy must be one of the 9/11 truthers, the bomber, false flag, the believes in the Sandy Hook wasn't real. He probably believes all that stuff. He's just a total conspiracy theory nutjob.
No, it's Tachyon time something or other.
And he's making these videos, and he's claiming that it's all a hoax. And I just find that very...
I think Truth Sleuth would remember.
Very disturbing. You've got these, parents out there, that have taken care of Libby and Abby, and they know that they passed away. Okay, this isn't a joke. Okay, and at the end of the video, he said, "Well, it's possible I'm wrong." No, you are wrong. Okay, yes, they actually did pass away. Just ask Becky or Anna. Okay, they'll let you know. All right, so you're a total embarrassment, and you should just be ashamed of yourself. Take down the videos. They're a joke. All right. So, just keep watching.
Gosh, Gray, you're so mean. Why can't people just go over there? Why do you care if people watch channels like that? They have the right to watch whatever they want. Just ask JoJo.
As I speak, and you can see the path. There's also another guy out there that makes a Facebook page.
Oh, my God.
He runs it. And he actually kicked Becky out of his group because she knows me. And see, the thing is with me is I have, from the beginning, doggedly tracked down the facts in the case, the knowable facts, because there are some. Believe it or not, there are some knowable facts. You get people out there that still say that there's no facts in the case, and that's just not true. So I've tracked down the knowable facts, and I put them together for people to see, to then use to speculate. Okay, and yes, there are times where I've spoken harshly to people, because they will not accept those facts. Okay, what they do is continue on with wild speculation, like this guy does, by saying that the suspect was actually photoshopped onto the bridge. And that's just not true. And I think that's also very disrespectful to the parents as well. It's an absolute embarrassment. And this guy should be ashamed of himself for actually kicking out the parent of one of the girls who died. Okay? Jesus.
So here's that bridge.
All right, so I'm going to pause it right here. Now look at the time here, 3:11. This is the time where Derrick made his first phone call to Libby to say, hey, I'm about ready to come pick you up. All right, he was just crossing over this bridge at 3:11. All right. And, then he drives through this wooded area. Now, you got to remember to keep in mind that, this is in the summer when this was filmed for me. And it's a lot less dense during February. It's the trees are all bare and you can see through and so forth.
Now remember a tachyon
this
time
is the route
warp or something,
and it was verified by him. Okay,
it's like TACHEON.
Yeah, I mean, what I would just wish is that people would actually use real facts in the case, the ones that are known, and then put them together and speculate. Speculate all you want, but try to speculate reasonably, because when you get the facts, you can sort of say, okay, this makes sense. Now let's think of something. I mean, there's this one person that's still talking about these faces they see in the wood grain. It's amazing that stuff's still going on. It's wood grain. Hello.
No, I see it's wood grain, but that's still a face. Well, what does it mean?
Now we're about 3:12 now.
Well, nothing, but
Derrick makes another call at 3:13. And
3:13 could be 3:59.
Calls, and both these times, the calls go to voicemail.
See, look, everybody, look at that phone, that tower that's right there. This is very close to
verified that they go to
the bridge,
the voicemail, and you can leave a message. At this time.
See, the bridge is actually.
It turns out that later on, when calls were made, so after 3:30ish. Calls were made
right back there,
and then they
in those woods back there.
would go straight to voicemail. And now I think that means that the phone
or a little bit
had gone dead
further to the right.
Okay.
But here
comes Derrick.
Cemetery right there.
This isn't really him in the car. It's actually Becky driving the car.
So the bridge is right through the woods over there.
And there is the cemetery there on the left. I'm really glad that window was pretty tinted there. Somebody would probably check that guy out.
He's driving
probably that same guy in that Facebook group. Super
sleuth. Just past the cemetery.
He's really got all the facts for everybody. He's right on top of it. Suspect being photoshopped on the bridge and all. All right. So if you look up here, it says 3:13. So I imagine probably just slightly back a little bit, maybe.
Yeah, Be Real. What are you referring to, Be Real? I don't get it. I haven't seen you comment yet. That's your first comment? I don't have any idea what you're talking about.
Let's say in this area, he was probably calling the second time, 3:13. Phone records only put, like 3:13. They don't include the second. So it doesn't matter if it's really close to 3:14. It'll still say 3:13.
What do you mean you think you got the wrong genre? What does that mean?
Okay. All right. So he made a call, and then that one rang and then went to voicemail. So then he decided to.
Oh, vanilla.
He parked the car right here. Okay. Then he got out of his car. Now let's switch over to Google Earth. All right. I'm going to have to move it back over to the area here. Right here. All right. So see where I have this parking spot right here? That's what you see on that video. Let's go back to the video for a second. So
I'm going to back the car up just a little bit. Now see this right here? This is actually part of the path, and that's a gate. I think this gate was put there, I believe, after...
Or it was open.
...the incident. I'm not absolutely sure, but I think that's true. Okay, so we go back to Google Earth. Alright, so that path is right here. The car in the video that I just showed you is about right here right now. And Derrick got out immediately. So right as he pulled in at like 3:14, he walked in this direction. And then when he got right here at like 3:15, he ran into an older gentleman with a plaid shirt on.
Flannel shirt.
Okay. And that person, after he was asked, have you seen two girls? He said, no, I saw a couple on the bridge. Okay.
It was under.
So when Derrick heard that, he said, okay, so they probably aren't at the bridge anymore. So what he did was he walked this other path. So this is the 501 sign trail, and this is the 505 trail right here. So there's a bench right here, and there's a second trail that goes this way. Now you can follow it, and if you notice, it goes down and curves, and then goes down to, you can go down to the creek that way. So he went down there at 3:15. He started walking, went down here, and then he came back up.
Yeah, we know who it is.
All the way back up to here, and then went back to the car.
I'm not suspicious
and then at 3:30, he called Becky, right? And he let them know what was going on. Let's see. So I have it written down. It says Derrick called at 3:30 after returning the 505 path and before going to the Freedom Bridge. Okay, so that's exactly what he did. Derrick went to here, to his car. Then he walked back here again, and then walked all the way down this path to the Freedom Bridge, which is right here. Okay, to check to see if the girls had gone that direction. All right, and then he walked back after he didn't find them there. All right, which is this direction, and he came back here. Then, he returned to this area, and this is when people started showing up. Like Tara was there around that time. Okay, and that's the aunt.
My mouth is making all those noises.
Libby.
Now I notice that shit because I try not to do it.
And I guess the daughter of Becky.
Plus, that's a Yeti microphone.
Right. And Becky...
A Yeti microphone, if you had an ant and it jumped off of a table and landed on a pillow, it would sound like a earthquake.
When she was called at 4, or actually it was around 3:30, I mean, she called for about 20 minutes. She started calling Libby's phone, and it was actually Libby and Tara both tried calling her phone for 20 minutes. I have it written down. It says, then Tara and Becky both called Libby's phone and left messages and texted Libby for about 20 minutes before deciding something was very wrong. Okay. Then Tara left, so probably around 3:50, and drove out there. It takes about 10 minutes to get to the bridge from Becky's house to the parking area. And she was there at 4, and that's about when Derrick returned, and they all started, kind of looking around together. And if you remember from the other video, Kelsey was to go to her friend's house and then go to work. She was supposed to be at work at 4, but instead of going to work, she actually came back and helped too. All right. Now remember, at this time, Becky's still at the house, and she was doing the calls and so forth, and then Cody came home. Then Cody and Becky drove both the routes. Okay, so let me show you that. There are 2 routes that Libby knew to get to the bridge, and so did Kelsey, and it was this way right here. So you could either go this way or this way. So they drove these 2 routes to see if by chance Libby and Abby were walking in those areas. So that would probably take 25 minutes to drive that whole distance. It's about 10 this way, 10, but maybe you're driving slowly because you're looking around. Okay, I'm editing this part back into the video because I actually, or not into it, I'm actually adding it because I forgot it. But so at this point, Cody and Becky did these 2 routes, and if they left their house at about 3:50, 25 minutes, it'd be roughly 4:15, 4:20 when they returned to the parking area right here. And what happened next was that Cody and Kelsey, I have a hard time quickly remembering all the names, but Cody and Kelsey met up here, and then they walked, and they actually crossed the entire bridge. Okay, so they actually crossed the bridge, and when they crossed the bridge, they actually went to, I think, this home and some of these other homes, and they were only able to, talk to one person and ask, hey, did you see Abby and Libby? Maybe they described them.
Wow, we're almost doing like a marathon tonight.
And people said no.
Hopefully, if I don't know how many of you have been here the whole time, but hopefully after watching this, you sort of get a much better feel for the area. Like for me, I could just go there and I'd know where I was without ever being there before, because I've seen this so many times.
Okay.
I know the map.
So, but they did cross the bridge, and they actually walked around in this area. So, which is weird, because if they actually walked on this, the private drive, it's actually 625 until about right in this area. Then it becomes a private drive. Same road, but it becomes a private drive. And then, if they were walking right here, they were so close to where Abby and Libby were, right when they were walking in this area. They just probably wouldn't have thought to look across the creek.
Yeah.
Okay, so that
we should get a hold of the flannel guy's shirt and see if
part I was adding in. Now let's get back to the initial recording. Becky called Mike at 4 o'clock, and then she called him again at 4:18. And then about 5 o'clock, Mike actually showed up at the Mears property, which is right next to the parking area, right here. He went to this house, and he called an officer who's a friend of his. All right?
Thank you, Hope.
And that was about 5 o'clock. So it says he parked at the Mears property across the road, talked to him. So he talked to the Mears right here. And then he called a friend that is a cop. And then he went to the trails, and Becky met him there. And she told him to call the police, and that because it was getting dark soon, and they called law enforcement at 5:20. Okay, so I think all of this is very reasonable. Okay, now one of the problems we have here in terms of sorry, I'm trying to orientate myself here again. Yeah, so one of the problems we have right here is that here's the parking area, and Derrick got here at 3:14, immediately got out of his car and started walking. Now, in one of these groups, they're claiming that they have a witness who right here at the 501 foot step sign for this path right here, which is actually right here, there's a sign right on this little corner here, that the witness saw the suspect right here. Okay, and that they were walking by and they had a scarf on. Okay, but Derrick was right here at the same time, and he talked to an older man with a plaid jacket, and he had been coming from this direction. So he would have seen the same person. Okay, unless you're going to say that the suspect guy was like hiding in the woods right here, and then kind of just popped out right here. Right at the main intersection of all the people walking the trails. So I don't know what to believe here. It's possible the witness saw it was later than 3:15, but that's when everybody was walking around already. I mean, not everybody, but Derrick was there looking, and then at 3:30,
You know, he walked the other direction down this trail, and he didn't see anyone. So I don't know if that's accurate that at 3:15 at the 501 foot sign, right when Derrick was there, that that a witness saw the suspect. That just doesn't make sense to me. Okay, so maybe someone needs to go get some clear information from whoever they're claiming to be this witness. All right. They also are saying that one of the witnesses saw the suspect at 2:30. So this would be prior to Abby and Libby being murdered, actually.
Or right at that time.
There's just no way you could see, you know, I don't know where this person claims to have seen the suspect. If it was at 2:30 and it was over here, there's no chance. Okay, there's no chance. All right, so because keep in mind here, 207 was the first photograph taken on the bridge, and that was right from right here. All right. Now it takes about 7 minutes to walk across the bridge very slowly, like literally meticulously walking across. So let's say the girls were doing that. All right.
Would have been 2:14.
Sorry, I had to get a drink of water there. Let's say it took them. I'm going to give them 10 more minutes. So at 2:07, 2:17, they're across the bridge. But
this one's called Derrick's Path, where something like where Libby and Abby. I don't know. I can't see it. Derrick's Path and more. Libby and Abby, Delphi, Indiana. Why do you want? Do you want to go watch this on your own or something?
But
it's in the playlist.
Theory is that while they were walking across to here, they might not have even planned to cross the bridge. But when they were around in this area, they noticed that the suspect, the guy that they thought was creepy earlier, let's say, was walking across the bridge. So they decided to hustle across this way because they didn't want to have to pass the guy. I could see how freaky that would be on a narrow bridge like that. So they walk across the bridge over here, and Libby's a little bit quicker because they see this guy really hustling. So they kind of think, okay, he's after us. So Libby has been on the bridge a million times and is very comfortable with it. So she gets off, but Abby's a little bit slower. So Libby waits near the end, and the guy, you know, this is actually in the videos that I've made, this is how close the suspect is.
Yeah, that's
he's
right
just
there.
A little bit past the last platform 6. He's right here.
Feet.
There's Abby, and there's Libby. I don't know if Abby's a little bit farther this way or a little bit farther that way, because all we have is that little tiny piece on that one image, and it's hard to say. So, you know, at this point, you know, the suspect then tells them, you know, go down the hill. Then they go down the hill this way, and then down in here, and then they show up kind of where Julie Melvin's videos were taken. Then they cross the creek in this shallow area right here. Anthony Garino actually.
No, Be Real. You're incorrect. There's no discernible gate or anything. They told us not even to look at that part because there's gaps on the bridge. There is no way to look at his leg and say, oh, look at it, he's got something wrong with it. It's just what people want to say so they can pretend that they're sleuthing out something. So now we got to look for a guy with a limp.
Actually has a video recently where he walks across, and it's really not that difficult. Maybe goes up just to his knee, a little bit above his knee. And this is where the crime scene is, right there.
But no, I'm not mad.
Okay, so a wider perspective. There's the bridge, down the hill, Cross Creek, and this is where they were found, right here. Okay, now there's 5 possible routes that you could actually leave the bridge area. I mean, you know, leave the crime scene. I mean, there's a million possible routes because you could actually just walk out in any direction. But if you're going to use a traditional or sort of like a path that already exists, you know, from here you would just walk up and go to the cemetery and leave in any direction. Probably, you know, in this direction. So you're down here, there's a crime scene. You go to the cemetery that we saw earlier in the drive-by, and you would go this way, or you would go, you know, go that way.
You can also take, be on the 625 right here. This is 625, and then it becomes a private drive under here. You can leave that way. So he would have had to cross the creek again, go up to 625, and leave out.
Thanks, be real.
This way. All right. There is also another way that we have discussed
probably
in
how
my
it was, PS.
Facebook group.
That's what I've said a lot
There's
of times.
a path. The old railroad tracks actually go just like this.
Chewbacca!
Actually, keep on going.
Chewbacca? I'll be Chewbacca if you want me to be.
Going. There's no tracks there, I don't believe, but where the tracks were, keep on going. And what if he had parked a vehicle in this area?
Yeah, that was way back. I don't believe this part anymore, but it was kind of an interesting theory at one point.
Walked up here and then just escaped.
Continue on
this
the old
whole
tracks.
walk is almost completely out of sight of anyone. Okay, and if you look at it on the helicopter footage, it's just dense, even that time of year. Okay, now the other direction would be so from the cemetery. This is where Randy Gravitt and Julie Melvin actually have a video where they're walking like this. I'm not sure where they started in their video, but somewhere around in this area, and they walk through the woods this way and get to the path. Now that's something that's possible, more likely than others. That here's the crime scene, and the killer comes up and gets back onto the path at some point. So I guess it's possible the guy with the flannel jacket, shirt on, let's say this guy got in front of him, then the witness saw him and he kept walking, so maybe it was like at 3:10. So he got in front of the guy with the flannel shirt. The witness saw him here, and then he kept going this way, and then Derrick gets here at 3:15, shows up, then the guy with the flannel shirt, shows up at the same time. So, but that guy, the suspect might have already be at this point over in this area, continuing to walk. So again, those are the other exits. The suspect could have got back on this path from the cemetery, gone this way, and out right here at the parking area, or he could continue on.
I don't have any idea.
So I think that's a possibility that the witness
I
actually
just
saw
mentioned all the different
the
routes.
suspect more around 3:10. Okay, because any time after 3:15 just wouldn't make any sense.
Don't know what DNA was
in this
for.
area, because there were actually people walking along this path, and Derrick was too. He went this way, but then I guess at 3:30 he went this way. So another possibility, now that I'm thinking about it, is at 3:15, after talking to the guy in the flannel shirt, Derrick went this way. And it could be like at 3:17 or 18, the guy with the flannel shirt, I don't know where he went. Maybe he went this way and got in his car and drove away, or he kept walking this way. But it could be at like 3:18 or 3:20-ish, the suspect shows up, is seen by the witness, and Derrick and the flannel shirt guy aren't around, and that person, then the suspect leaves this direction or out this direction. Okay, and nobody would have seen him because the flannel shirt guy had probably already left in either direction, and Derrick was actually down in this area. So again, this is one of those perfect storm cases. Just everything worked out for the killer, and it's just absolutely insane. All right. Okay, so I hope this helped out a little bit. If any of you guys have any questions or anything, just put them in my comments. And I don't normally do this, but if you guys would like to share my videos, that would be great. And subscribe to my channel, that would be great. And I really appreciate
Gray, what do you think?
people watching my videos.
Gray?
I try to be as factual
Gray,
as possible.
answer him.
And
Well, he can't hear me. He's got a headset on.
I know that's not as entertaining for some people, because there isn't really a lot of facts about the actual killer, other than the images that we actually have of the guy. But I try to put out as many facts as I can about knowable things.
Alright, so until next time, I will talk to you later.
Alright, so hopefully, this is me live now. Hopefully everybody that was watching tonight got a way better feel for the surroundings, the area, the crime scene flow, and everything. I was going to play... Where is that thing? So what I told you guys earlier is when I made the crime scene flow video originally, I had Robert Ives, the prosecutor, put a comment on my video and wanted me to call his office. So I called his office and we talked. And then in the podcast we just did recently, just to prove I'm not lying, and I didn't even interview him for it. It was Mike Morford, and he offered this bit of information about me, which I was proud of, and he said I could play it if I wanted to, because it's true. That's why he said I could play it. So here it is.
I'm happy to talk. I'm happy to. Sure. I'm happy to talk. I'm happy to talk about it. I'm in favor of publicity for it any time. As I told Gray, I have a lot of respect for Gray. He got involved creating videos way at the beginning, and I was very impressed with the work he did. Had we ever gotten to a point of having a triable case, I might well have hired him to produce some graphics for me, because he did really wonderful work, and he and I have communicated on and off over the last couple of years, and I do trust him. So what can I do for you, Mike?
Yeah. See, that's about the best thing I could ever hear right there, right? I mean, it's just, I don't know. That always makes me proud when I listen to that, because it means that somebody, a prosecutor, I've worked for a prosecutor before on an animation, but that's literally what he said. So when you're watching this channel, you actually are watching a channel that had somebody say that was actually working on this case for about a year at the beginning. All right, so that's it. That's all I got, everybody, for tonight's show. I'll probably do a couple more shows this week on Delphi, since it's the 4th year anniversary, but what I'll probably do is another call-in show. Maybe, I don't know if you guys would be interested in doing one of those tomorrow, but I think it'd be cool to do a call-in show where people can call in. You can just say what you think, maybe, and not necessarily ask me what I think, because I mean, I've said what I think about 1,000 times, but I think it'd be pretty cool. Yeah, I don't know where he lives. I don't think he's a local that lives in Delphi, though. All right. So, all right, everybody. Thank you all for showing up tonight. Let me go back to the main screen. Still here. Let me fix the camera there. All right. So, thank you to... Oh, they cut it off. They were all there 5 minutes ago, and then they got rid of them all. All of the super chats. Well, I thanked all of you as they were coming by, but I'm getting really frustrated that I can't thank anybody anymore at the end. That blows. Hold on, let me see if I re-upload it. Oh, now there's 2 in there.
Chewbacca?
Oh, I'll be Chewbacca if you want me to.
The only ones I can see are Be Real and Rose M right there. Well, thank you very much. Appreciate it. And thanks to everybody else out there. I know tons of people donated. I was at least saying them in there. And sorry, Kay's Creation, for flipping you crap, but you know how I gotta do it. There's no way to figure out what you were saying, though. Let's see. Yeah, well, I don't have this streaming software doesn't have the face mask. Be Real. You have to use this. I'm using OBS Studio, and the other one is Streamlabs OBS. I still have that one. I haven't used it in a while. I like the way this works better than that one. But anyways, I hope you guys got a lot out of tonight's show, going through the debunking, showing kind of how it was, then going over the factual information that I have. I don't have any details on like who the suspect is or anything like that. I see all the rumors that everybody else sees, I just learned over time to be kind of wary of all of them because none of them have come true yet. I want one to come true. I hope that a rumor is real at some point. No, I don't use StreamYard. No. I don't like StreamYards. I use OBS Studio and it's called Streamlabs OBS. I don't use StreamYards. They're not related. I think that's sort of somebody that doesn't want to put any effort in will use StreamYards because you just have people join and they just show up on your screen and everything. OBS Studio takes effort to build the different scenes and transitions and things like that. I put in effort for the Freak family, right? Come on, you guys. You know it. You know it. I think that's kind of what the Freak family appreciates, that I like basically every single day. Tonight's show is a little easier than some of the others, but I'm here the whole time because I'm playing stuff that I've already made from a long time ago. But normally, I spend hours putting everything together, then do a 2, 3, 4 hour show, going over different cold cases, missing person, that kind of thing. So, anyways, I appreciate all of you very much, but like I said before, I'm not going to care as much if you're just talking about random stuff so that you guys can just have conversations if you need to, all right? The people that are listening will probably like it better that I don't refer back to the chat when they're not related. So, there you go. Well, thank you, Vanilla Rose. All right, everybody. That is going to be it. Thank you to everybody who contributed to the channel. Unfortunately, for some reason, they're all disappearing off of the screen that I used to use to be able to thank everybody. I'm not sure. I think they've changed a couple things. They screwed up on that, though. I believe so. Let me just try. Yeah, that sucks. But thank you guys very much. And make sure you wash your hands, maintain your social distancing, and wear a mask. And also, just know this, when you subscribe to my channel or donate, or I was going to say donate to my channel, I donate a huge percentage of it to charity. And when I say that, I'm not being like, oh yeah, a huge percentage, like everybody else says. And a portion goes to, last year, my channel donated $22,000 to crime-related charities, okay? And if you can point to another true crime channel that gets anywhere near that much, let me know. But I know that we donate a lot. I know John Lorden donates a lot. So, very few of them do. And so whenever you contribute to this channel, just know that it's helping me out and the charities, and it allows me to keep doing what I'm doing. But mainly the charities. And this year we're building a fund up for DNA identification of Jane and John Doe's, either crime victims or individuals. The one we're trying to work on right now is a 1961 hitchhiker case. This is with Colleen Fitzpatrick, the founder of genetic genealogy. I think it's in Alabama, 1961 hitchhiker that was picked up. The car crashed by a bridge. He got flung out. He was killed. The driver didn't die, but he didn't know the guy's name, and they've never identified him. And I think that'd be really cool if we could actually be part of solving that one. All right? So there you go. Hey, thanks, Truth Slew. All right. So, anyways, that is it. Thank you guys very, very much, and we will see you guys tomorrow. So, as I always say, everybody, until next time, be safe out there. And a 2 and a 3. Yeah, I've been doing this true crime thing for quite a while now. And during this whole time, I have not seen one person that is a crime dissector. I'm a certified human lie detector. Gonna get ya on a stretcher if you try and play me like an old projector. Crime sector,
we already did.
Here's my nectar. Professor Grillo's gonna give another lecture. Crime collector.
We already did that, be real. That's what we've already done. That's what I just said.
Deflector.
interceptor.
And I mean a suspect with a vector on his pector. With all respect, ya, just remember I've attempted to fucking check ya. I have no agenda, I'm no pretender, and I'll serve it to you straight without the blender. And in the end, I'm gonna send ya on a mission to reveal the true offender. Yeah, so I'll just get right back to work. All right, everybody? Talk to you.
Hey, man, that was a really cool show, Gray. Thank you very much.
What?
I said thank you very much.
Well, why are you saying that? Just, you were part of the show.
Oh, okay. Yeah, forget it. Hey, John boy, how about you? Good night, John boy.
Wow, Mary Lou. Have another cup of coffee, for God's sakes.
Gosh, why can't I just say good night? Jeez, you're so mean.
Now that was a cry that I can stand behind.
Oh, well, thank you. Unfortunately, be real, we're getting rid of that lowest level at some point, but thank you for joining again. I'm Dissector, the projector, I'm a certified human lie detector. Gonna get ya, on a stretcher, if you try and play me like an old projector. Crime sector is my nectar, but Father Gray is gonna give another lecture. What around about me and the crew about something we did or supposed to do? You might not have heard, or maybe you have, but when I first heard it, all of it was right. If you're very all up there, but you can say what you want to spell my name right. Cause I'm never guilty of rocking a house, but that's not what the rumor was all about. If you ask me, then tell all your friends, and if you don't wait till you see me again, this way I can hear it from the horse's mouth, and right then and there, we can straighten it out. Going around about me and the crew about something we did or supposed to do. You might not have heard it, or maybe you have. When I first heard it, all of it was flat. I used to get angry and all up high, but I can say much I want to spell my name right. All of the guilty of us rocking a house. Well, that's what that rumor was all about. If you have to, then tell all your friends, and if you don't, wait till you see me again. This way I can hear it from the horse's mouth. Right then and there, we can straighten it out. You got a big mouth, big mouth.
And listen.
Ah, you suck, John boy. Gosh, you're so nice to me now.
I didn't say I was nice to you.
Oh. How you feeling, Audra? Would you just shut the hell up?
Gosh, Mary Lou, you're so mean.
Poor John boy. Hello? Anybody there? At the back with his brand new invention, something grabs a hold of me tightly, flows like a harpoon daily and nightly. Will it ever stop, yo? I don't know. Turn off the lights, And I'll go to the extreme. I rock a mic like a vandal. Right up the stage and work a chump like a candle. Dance for the speakers of doom, filling your brain like a poisonous mushroom. Deadly when I play a dope melody. Anything less than the best is a felony. Love it or leave it, you better get away. Better hit rules that a kid don't play. If there was a problem, go, I'll solve it. Check out the hook where my DJ revolves it. Ding, 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 ding. Oh, really? Wow, that sucks. Well, hopefully we'll get it in there soon. Now that the party is jumping, with the bass kicked in and the fingers are pumping, quick to the point, cause the point no faking, cooking them seeds like a pound of bacon, burning them, being quick and nimble. I go crazy when I hear the cymbal with a hi-hat, with a super tempo. I wanna roll, time to go solo, rolling in my 5.0 with my rag top down so my hair can blow. Take a listen, stand by, waiting just to say hi. Did she stop? No, just go by, kept on pursuing to the next stop. I lost a left, I'm headed to the next block. The block was dead, y'all, so I continued to A1A. Detroit Avenue, girls were hot, wearing less than bikinis. Rock band lovers, grabbing Lamborghinis, jealous, cause I'm out getting mine. Shade was a gauge and the number was a 9. Gunshot, rings out like a bell. I grab a 9 out of her with shells, falling on the concrete real fast. Jump in my car, slammed on the gas, bumper to bumper, the avenue's packed. Trying to get away from the jacker's jack. Police wanna see, you know what I mean? They pass me up in front of all the dope fiends. If there was a problem, yo, I'll solve it. Check out the hook when my DJ revolves it.
Hey, do Paul Revere. Do Paul Revere.
Oh, you want me to do that one? My voice is shot, though.
Do it anyways.
Gosh, you're so mean. Here's a little story that I got to tell about 3 bad brothers you know so well. Started way back in history where that rock MCA and me might be. But that little horse, his name was Paul Revere. Me and my horsey and a quart of beer, riding across the land, kicking up sand. Sheriff's posse's on my tail cause I'm in demand. One lonely beastie I be. Well, I by myself without no puppy. The sun was beating down on my baseball hat. The air was getting hot, the beer was getting flat. Looking for a girl, I ran into a guy. His name was MCA. I said howdy, he said hi. A little story that's out of every hearse. 4 days on the run and that he's dying of thirst. The brew was in my hand and he was on my hip. His voice is always trouble, right? You have any voice hip? He's thinking I got some. I said you can get none. He had a chance to run. He pulled out a shotgun. Quick on the draw. I thought I'd be dead. He put the gun to my head and this is what he said. Now, damn it, I got a license to kill. I hope you know what time it is. It's time to get ill. But what do we have here? I'm not blowing this beer. I run this land you understand. I'll make myself clear. Right about now it's time to have some fun. The King had rock, that is my name, and I know the fly spot where they got the champagne. So we drove for 6 hours and we hit the spot. Love's blowing and the girls was hot. The dude was staring like he knows who we are. We took the empty spot next to him at the bar. Yippee yo, you know this kid? I said I did, but I know he did. Kid said get ready, cause this ain't funny. My name's Mike P and I'm about to get money. Pulled out the jammy, aimed it at the sky. Flip, flip, flip. And that flew fly, 8-bit tips and ran for the door. We some 2 kids that ran for the door. like Becky and I get respect. Your cashing the jewelry is what I expect. And DA was with it, and he's my ace, so I grabbed the piano player and I punched him in the face. Piano player's out, music stopped. Boy had 8 and he got dropped. Mikey grabbed the money, MCA grabbed the gold. Grab 2 billies and a beer, let's go. Alright, man, that was really fun. Good night, everybody.
Yeah, good night, Mary Lou. Good job.
Hey, thanks, John Boy. Jeez. Wow.
Oh my God, they actually got along at the end there. It was amazing. Anyways, thanks everybody. Be safe out there.